We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back. And guys, we are here to try to bring you guys another fun-filled episode. We're going through a little bit of technical difficulties right now, so thank you guys for being patient, rocking out with us. I'm going to go through these formalities first. First, guys, if it's your first time here on the YouTube page, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's going to help other people find us. It affects all the algorithms, man. Make sure you guys subscribe, got your notifications turned on, and all that good stuff. Hit us up on Twitter and Snapchat. We have Nothing But 9 ERS. Those are the handles down there at the bottom of the screen. Nothing But 9 ERS. We have Facebook as well as Instagram. That is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out with spaces in between. And we have a website, guys, www.nothingbutniners.com. It's going to be a one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers, us here at Nothing But Niners. And then going across the bottom of your screen, guys, you can even check us out on fantofannetwork.com. Get all the articles, get all the videos and all that good stuff right over there. Fellas, what is going on? I'm going to go on mute. How you guys doing, man?
Doing real good, man. Good to be here, man. Another show, baby. Let's bring these people another great show. What's good, Tony? How you doing?
What's up, Wayne? What's going on, fellas? Faithful, what's going on? Just ready to talk some 49ers football. A couple things we're going to touch on. Some notes we're going to get into as soon as Mike is ready. And a couple interesting topics that we're going to address, too.
Yeah, man. I'm real excited that in about 2 weeks that they'll be like really, really geared up for practice. Like, you know, there's no contact right now in practice. They are doing walkthroughs, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But as far as pads, I'm concerned, they're not wearing pads yet. But I believe next week, not this week coming up, but the following week is when they get to start all the hitting and gritting and all that good stuff. So I'm excited because that's where we're going to start to see, you know, who's shaping up to make this squad, man. And it's coming down. It's coming fast, like you said, Tony. And I'm really excited to get this going.
Yeah, just I was watching the videos that they posted. There's like 2 videos, like 15. One's 15-second clip. The other one's like a 30-second clip. And like I was talking to Mike about this. And I'm a big guy that looks at like the eyes, the body language. And my perception was these guys are 100% locked in. They're focused. It's business. And it's really encouraging, man. From all the stuff that's going on, how they were separated due to the COVID. They had no OTAs or anything like that. And just a look on them. And, you know, I understand it's a walkthrough, but still, those guys were locked in and focused. My opinion, how I took it.
Yeah, same here. It's like you hear them in the presses, right? You hear them talking, and it's a little bit of fun. It's probably fun in their own kind of way, but it's really they really have some unfinished business to handle, right? Like they lost in that Super Bowl. There's a bad taste in their mouth. Yeah. You heard Nick Bosa say that, look, I have not watched the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. And I never will because I want to pick up where we left off at the end of that third quarter. Like these guys are really focused, man, to come out here and play. So I can't wait to see. And, you know, bearing injury or whatnot, like this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I know a bunch of people they're done their preseason ratings and things. We're going to get into that on the show today. You know, I think Coward, I think we're going to talk about his ratings and things like that, how he rated the 49ers offense or whatnot, you know, guys rating the 49ers defense. I forgot who was it that said that the 49ers are taking a step backwards. I don't know if it was 49er. I don't want to say who I think it was because I don't want to get the name wrong, but someone out there in the world said that the 49ers are going to be taking a couple steps backwards on defense. And I kind of want to talk about that. Like I'm not really, I'm not really sure, other than the fact that we lost DeForest Buckner on defense, like how much of a step we're going to take back. And I guess age, maybe. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I think the two big things that whoever said that was talking about was, number one, losing DeForest Buckner. Number two, the question of D Ford's knee, and number three, the starting corner opposite of Sherman. Those are the only three questions that I see on this defense. Two of them I feel pretty okay about, as far as D Ford's knee. From everything what I heard, everything's been positive. He came out and flat out said it's like he was playing last year with like a flat tire. Like he didn't have that explosion. That strength wasn't there in that knee. So he had a little procedure in the offseason. He says it's there. He goes, I'm flying out of my stance. I feel great. The knee feels great, which is positive, but he does have to go out in the field and prove it. As far as the opposite corner of Sherman, the starting spot, I mean, listen, I'm sure they're going to let Akello and Mosley battle it out. I think Mosley played pretty damn well when he was on the field last year, and I think he has the nod over Akello right now. Like, I guess you could say penciled, but it's not set in stone. So it's going to be interesting. And the one down thing about this whole situation, there could have been a preseason game this coming week, and they're not having it. So, I mean, it is what it is. You just deal with it. But imagine we would say, oh, in 5 days, the 49ers are playing the Oakland Raiders or whoever in their first preseason game. That would be so, like, great right now. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the only questions I really see. As far as Kinlaw replacing Buckner, I mean, that was clearly a business decision. It has nothing to do with Buckner. Like, they didn't want him here. But when you have a team the way you do, and you're finally hitting on all your picks, and you have to come up on contract extensions and paying these guys, you can't afford to pay a defensive tackle $22 million. That's just me, and I'm not bashing Buckner, and I know it's a business, but if you listen to all the interviews, everyone's excited. Kyle's excited. John's excited that he was able to get that $22 million, but don't let them fool you. They were happy as hell. They got a 13 overall pick in return. So one hand washed the other on that one, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you talked about the D Ford situation and the fact that he felt like he was playing on a flat tire. I mean, he definitely was playing on a donut, but I think the tire got replaced. I think he got a brand new tire and he's ready to go, man. And even if D Ford, and let's just hypothetically say, even if D Ford didn't get better health-wise, right? I mean, is that really still a step backwards? If not, we would still be in the same limelight. I think the only thing we lost on defense was the experience of DeForest Buckner, and now we're going to be adding in a rookie excuse me, let me correct that. We're going to be replacing him with a rookie and other rotational players that play in the middle on the 49ers defensive line. So I believe that's going to help our rookie Kinlaw, transcend very well. He's going to transition into that position very well, because why? They're probably going to bring him in on the run and stuff downs or whatnot, to stop the run, get that run, keep the run at either negative yards or minimum 2 yards as possible. And then we're going to force things on 3rd and 7s. We want 3rd, 8, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, and beyond, right? That's what we want, because that's when your D4 comes in, and that's when that replaced tire is going to go ahead and go all out. And and because of things like that, I just don't see how the 49ers are taking a step backwards, for the main fact that they have just about all their guys -1. They have all their guys coming back -1. Another year under the system. Year under the system. And let me just point this out, because Matt Miyoko said this on his podcast, and it never resonated in me to think about this. But this is what he said. I'm not going to quote him, but I did shout him out on Twitter for saying this, and he responded back. He said that, listen, when Nick Bosa came into camp, he was coming in off of an abdominal injury, which means he was coming in off of being hurt. He was never at 100%. And he didn't have a regular 49ers offseason because he had missed so much time flying around the doctors, this, that, and the third, and all this, to take care of that injury. Think about this for 1 second, fellas. Nick Bosa is 100%. He's under the full supervision of the 49ers staff, right? He's getting training camp. He's getting playbook stuff under his belt. This guy is going to be 100% healthy with this first year in camp system. Shouldn't people watch out? Isn't that going to be a problem? Mm-hmm. If he was already a problem with minus that, imagine what he's going to be with that. So as far as Mike, what we were talking about is someone out there in the world said that the 49ers are going, their defense is going to be taking a step backwards. And we're going through all the different things on how we may feel like this is what they meant, but even bringing up the injury to D Ford, the unquestionable who's going to be the number 2 DB, and what was the other thing that we said? I'm not sure, but whatever. And the Buckner loss. Thank you. Like, that's what we're kind of touching up on. And what are your thoughts about us taking a step backwards?
No, not at all. I can't see it happening. The depth is healthier. We're adding more depth as it goes on. We're going to talk about all that. I don't see it at all. I think the defense will come back significantly better than what they were last year. I do think that we might see cornerback 1 get tested a lot more, but that's another story for another time, But no, these guys are going to be fine. They're going to be fine this year. It's going to be a good year. So, thank you guys for doing that, man. I'm sorry, fellas. My computer was pissing me. I almost threw it. It almost got going today. It almost got going. But listen, man, guys, we have a lot to discuss. We always start at the top with news. Have we talked about the news? There's some signings officially now. We did the breaking news with I will say Jordan Reed. Yeah. We did the breaking news with Jordan Reed, and he passed his physical. He's officially a part of the 49ers. So, guys, let's talk about what this could mean for this team. A lot of people are really excited about it. Some people are being tempered. Yeah, he's got to get healthy first. You see mixed emotions with this guy, right? You see some people acting like.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand the mixed emotions, but he passed his physical. So let's throw the mixed emotions outside for 1 second until something happens to where you need to be worried about injuries. Right now, he's passed his physical. If he didn't pass his physical, he wouldn't be a 49er. So the fact that he passed the physical and the fact that he's going to be in the system that he's familiar with, where he spent more time playing in this type of a system. He had his most production. He had a Pro Bowl year. Like, we have to look back at some of those things. We have to kind of look at the positives. I understand the negatives are there. We understand he has concussion history. We understand he has the shoulder history and things like that. But let's just go ahead and just try to move forward past that. Jordan Reed is a 49er for the year. He passed the physical, and the only thing he has to do right now is really focus on making the team, right? Because we have about 4 or 5 tight ends in camp, and only probably about 3 of them are going to make it. And that's something we need to figure out.
Man, what are your thoughts on it all?
I just see it as Kyle adding another chess piece. I mean, getting back to the physical, they knew what the main issue was with Jordan Reed, and believe me, they probably did a lot of extensive research and studies and testing on his issue with the concussions. And if he passed, that's a good sign. So with that being said, I just see this as Kyle adding a chess piece. Now, he had all that production in Washington. He was the focal point. He was the tight end of that offense. He's the number 1 guy. He comes to San Francisco as the 2nd guy now. The focus is not going to be on him. So this is where Kyle takes advantage of defenses. This keeps Kyle in the 22 personnel, 2 backs, 2 tight ends, if you don't know. And it forces almost the defense to stay in their base, but it really is a favorable matchup for the 49ers because it's like them actually going for potentially 5 wide receivers because all those guys have the skill set to run routes and create separation. So with that being said, I see this as Kyle using him to try to get the focus off of George Kittle, the focus off of Debo when he comes back, or Ayuk. Now, some people say, well, look what Seattle did. They want to go into a nickel or they want to play a big linebacker set with using Jamal Adams. That's fine. You could do whatever you want, but if this kid's 100% healthy and focused and he makes this team, and he does not have any setbacks, good luck trying to defend that with Kyle's creativity. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you play nickel, one guy's going to be a nickel cornerback is going to be on one, or the other guy, the strong safety or free safety is going to be on the other, and then good luck trying to cover Jet McKinnon or Tevin Coleman out of the backfield on a pass, or even Wilson, Mike's boy, out of the backfield on a pass with a linebacker. So it's all about chess. It's all about matchups. It's all about Kyle going after the weakness of the defense. And this clearly is what that move is about.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys go back and listen to that podcast on KMBR, Kyle Shanahan did a breakdown of all of that, and it's really, really good. It was a phenomenal listen. I know we're saying he passed the physical and all that, but I got to see him out there. I have to see him out there. Is it exciting to think about what it's going to be? Absolutely. I'm excited about the offense even without him. I was very excited before the acquisition because of the other guys coming off of IR. We're not talking about the Hurds and the Taylors and all that. And, those are guys that I was excited about. Now you add this in here. How can teams defend this offense? I just don't see how it's possible. The league is in trouble this year, man. This is going to be a very, very fun season for us, man.
If they could solidify that right guard spot, it's going to be tough.
Absolutely.
But I think they got the right guard spot, solidified, right? Think about it. I mean, we already know it's going to be Brunskill. Brunskill is going to take that spot. The only way you'll see Brunskill rotate is if due to an injury. And then they got a rookie that they got in there, McKivitz. Listen, this is another guy that's going to be able to swing around. And let's talk about the next piece that we just brought in, right? We just signed a guard, center, whatever, an interior offensive lineman with some experience. He has 6 years under his 6 years of experience with a few teams, and we brought him in to replenish some of the offensive. Sean Coleman is out. Obviously, he opted out for the season, and we brought in another guy to fill in. So the 49ers, I think I tweeted that they are adding key pieces, for victories. Like they absolutely, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are absolutely adding pieces to get back to the Super Bowl. Like, that's the goal. I don't think their goal is to win an NFC championship or what. They don't care how they get back to the Super Bowl. They want to get back to the Super Bowl, and they want another shot at winning the Super Bowl because they are, in their eyes, in their hearts, in their minds, we got a team of champions, guys. We got a team of young guys who felt like they were robbed and that they are champions. And that's something that I think the league should be scared of, for the simple fact that Kyle is adding in all these key pieces. They're not big name pieces or high free agents or all the, what does Tony say when I want these specific guys? What do you call them, Tony? You call, those specific wild guys that are wild, they're adding key components to the yeah. They're adding key components, the blue chip player, adding key components to the equation, guys. And that's, if you want to know what makes things go boom, it's those key components, guys. So kudos to our front office, man. They're doing things. And like Mike said, we have to be optimistic about it, but we just can't wait to see what it's going to be like on the field and how well can these guys grasp the concepts.
Absolutely. We have a contribution here from Sean. Every team in the NFC West got a player this offseason to cover Kittle, Jamal Adams. So Kyle said, well, you have a problem with one tight end. How about two? Check me.
It's a game of chess. It's a game of chess.
I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. And these guys are going to be on their heels or toes trying to figure out which way to go, man. I'm excited for it. There's some more news, though, guys. We are not – go ahead, Tony.
Just one quick thing before we move on from Jordan Reed, the tight end. By adding that second piece, it kind of takes the pressure off the wide receiver group. Now with Debo down and Emmanuel Sanders in New Orleans, they really don't have that true number one guy, that veteran role that Emmanuel Sanders had. So by adding Reed, in my eyes, I see it as taking the pressure off of those outside guys. Mm-hmm. And now the defense is really going to focus. Like, okay, we got Kittle here, we got Reed there. This guy, Ayuk, is fast. He can take the top off. Kendrick Bourne's a possession guy. We don't know what the other team. They don't know what Jalen Hurd could do. So, and then Trent Taylor's coming back. It's like Mike said, it's tough, man. They're going to be coming from every angle.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it right now. I think Jawan Jennings makes this squad, and
Oh,
that's another tough mother sucker going across the middle, catching passes, and it's gonna take a good 4 or 5 people to bring him down. Listen, it's going to be. I'm gonna say it one more time. Kyle Shanahan is adding key components to the equation. It might not be high flyer guys that we wanted or we thought we was gonna get, but we've seen some of these guys play. We've seen what they're good at, and Kyle's going to take what they're good at and make them better as while they're learning. While they're learning, it's going to be a problem, guys. It's going to be a problem, and I'm in for it.
Yeah. Now, quick question here, right? You talked about Juwan Jennings and Hurd and Kittle, and now we have Reed added to the mix, right? And we got Trent Taylor coming back, right? These are physical guys. Let me ask you guys this question, right? When you think of this offense, are they a finesse offense or a physical offense? I know it's not on the docket, but
they're a physical offense, bro.
They switched to physical. They were a finesse offense and they converted to physical.
Well, tell me when they were finesse, Tony, because like the only finesse guy I see on the offense is Dante Pettis. Other than that, I don't see
their first year they were a finesse offense.
Okay,
their first year. Then they added the piece in Debo, who brought that physicality at the one side. Kendrick Bourne brings it, but he's not as physical as what they have now.
Oh, I think
now
that's going to change, bro.
Now they're a full smash mouth team. They really are. For a team that's an outside zone team and, allegedly the West Coast Shanahan offense, I think it's going to be – this team's going to show you a different look. You're going to see a lot more New England principles where it's going to be Jimmy in the shotgun, getting that ball out of his hand quick.
Oh, yeah.
You brought all guys in that are excellent at yards after the catch, and they're going to let them do their thing, man. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a different look this year.
Here's why I say they're physical, Mike and Tony. Listen, when the wide receivers are going out there to lay crackdown blocks on mother suckers, that's physical, bro. When they're not looking for a ball to catch because they're looking to crack somebody on their back, that's physical. When Deebo Samuel takes the ball and initiates contact instead of trying to make the guy miss, that's physical. When Raheem Mostert gets the ball out of the backfield, and I know he skits and scats doo-doo, but he's trying to run somebody over, that's physical. I want to know, and I want to know from you and you, how in the hell is a guy like Jamal Adams, and I'm not taking away from his gameplay, but he ain't defended Kittle yet. Like, he hasn't defended George Kittle. I want to know from you guys how he's going to deal with physicality coming at his face, because all the physical DBs that George Kittle faced, he's owned. So if you tell me that Jamal Adams is going to try to own a George Kittle, I could smack you, and anybody else that think that, for the simple fact that all you got to do to George Kittle is make him mad. That's when the mentality shift. So if you think you get a one up on him, it's a wrap. So I just want to know, how does another, and I hope I answered your question, Mike. It's physical. But how does another team out physical the physicality that the 49ers are going to bring? And that's a question that you guys got to figure out.
Yeah, it's going to tire people down, man. They talk about what a physical running game can do to the defensive line and how it tires people out and all that stuff. Imagine that as the entire offense, all the people. I think Shanahan's offensive scheme is finesse, but he's got physical players out there running it. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting these guys a ball in space in the zone and all that. Like, that's finesse in my mind. That's not the smash mouth football that we saw with Harbaugh. You know what I mean? That's a different brand of football. The
I got
scheme
you.
might be finesse, but he's got some physical guys out there operating the system. So that's what I'm really, really excited about. So, all right, we're going to keep this thing moving here. The team has signed some other players here.
Spencer Long.
Yes. So where is that? I have it here. Hold on. All right. So the 49ers have also signed guard/center Spencer Long, guys. So I thought we discussed this already. I was wrong. My bad. I apologize. Let's break it down. Let's kick it off with our resident GM, man. What you got on guard/center Spencer Long?
He's 6'4", 310, 315. Depends on what you look at, what site. He's out of Nebraska. He was drafted in 2014 by Washington, which, by the way, Kyle and Mike were there. Also, who was there was a guy by the name of Chris Forrester, who's on our staff as an offensive assistant. So with the loss of Jake Brendel, the guy who we signed from, I think it was Miami, Denver or Miami, he split a season with them. he was brought in to add depth and competition to the center guard spot. He stepped away. He resigned and not resigned. He opted out due to COVID, and they had to add another piece inside, and that was the guy they signed. And now, all these moves that they're making due to the restrictions in training camp and no OTAs, they're adding guys that could literally they could take off the street and they could insert them in the play because they know the system as far as like the offensive line play, as far as like pass protections, whether it's two jet, whatever, all the other ones, and zone blocking. So it's interesting. The same thing with Jordan Reed. The same thing with Spencer Long. They're all plug-and-play guys. They're all low-risk, high-reward guys, one-year deals. And it's going to be interesting. He's going to be battling for the inside center and a right guard spot, I believe. He played with the Jets last year. He played the last 6 games, I think, with a broken hand, and he was the center, and he still played. It brought his statistics down as far as the PFF scores because of the injury, but whatever. Yeah, and other than that, they're just adding a piece that knows the system and for competition reason.
Yeah, man. Look, Spencer Long, he's 29 years old. As Tony stated, 6-time NFL veteran, 6-year NFL veteran, played 4 seasons with Washington. He didn't start a game last year. So that's one concern, but we're going to see how that works out. But here's an interesting stat that I wanted to present to you guys. So I wanted to look up something different about, and I'm like, well, what can I look up for offensive linemen? Like, what's something that Kyle hates that his offensive linemen do like in a game? And that's get what?
Penalties.
Okay, Mike is on it. All right, so listen, I want you guys to know that, and I'm reading it, his penalties are super low. He's only had 2 holding calls in his career, and 1 false start, and I think 2 offside penalties, or I don't know what that means. 2 false starts. So 2 false starts. I'm trying to figure out what DECI off, whatever that means. Whatever that is 2. But then he had 1 false start. So 2 holds, 1 false start in his 6 years. What
was the other one?
So
DECI?
Yep. DECL maybe, and then OFFS. Deflect. I don't know what that is. I'm not looking on the site, so I can't click on it.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was trying to figure it out too. I'm not sure.
But he has 2 of those,
like
right?
Personal foul or something like that. I don't
know.
But
let's go to the big ones though. Only 2 holds, guys, because those are 10-yard penalties, and only 1 false start, which is a 5-yard penalty. So that means when he's in the game, he's highly IQ to play the game. Like he doesn't cause penalties. And that's a big thing in Kyle Shanahan's offense, because whenever we get a penalty, we dig ourselves in a hole and we usually can't get out of them, even though Jimmy Garoppolo is really good at 3rd and longs. But my point is we want to avoid that as much as possible. I can see this guy, Spencer Long, finding a way on this team because of something like this.
Yeah, and it's the veteran thing, man. He's going to be somebody that the team values. They're going to want him in here and representing. So, I'm excited about it, man. I can't wait for this to get underway. I know that a lot of people say we don't want him, we don't need him. I'm going to miss preseason. Oh, declined offsides. Good job, Keener765. Man,
thanks, Keener.
I love it. They on it, man. They on it. Asking shall receive, man. They on it.
Yeah.
We have one more contribution to talk about really quick here. This is from Sean again. He says, hey, guys, all these high-profile players, cheap is reminiscent of what we did in 94.
Yes, sir.
Tony has been telling me this every time we talk.
No. Because this is how we got guys like Toy Cook, Gary Plummer. Like, think about all these guys that we had on our team that made that defense, like, stout. I mean, unstoppable. I think the highest paid defender was Deion Sanders. Happy birthday, Deion Sanders, by the way. I think he was the highest paid defensive player on the team, and it was well deserved. But that unit, that team right there, woo, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Let me see here. There was another comment I was going to put up here, but I lost it now. There's a lot of comments. You guys are great, though. All right. There's still another player that we have to discuss. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I'm just laughing that there's another one.
Dion Jordan, guys. Now,
yeah,
This is
Now we discussed him when we did the. I think we did the breaking news, and then we did show that evening, if I'm not mistaken. We
right.
broke him down, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm still scratching my head. Now I know we got Tony here, and Tony's gonna help me unscratch my head if that's possible. But I'm still scratching my head on this one.
So what I did was this, right? I pulled up the snap counts from last year, and I'm trying to figure out he's going to be third, fourth, maybe fifth type of defensive end to come in because we expect to see more of Nick Bosa, more of D Ford, right? We expect to see these guys more. I think Armstead gets some rotation over there at the edge. Ronald Blair is back. So he's going to be down on the depth chart if he makes this roster. So what I did was I looked at guys towards the bottom of it. I looked at guys like Jeremiah Valaga, guys like DeMontre Moore, Kentavious Street, who lined up at defensive end a little bit. So I looked at their snaps, okay? If you add them all together, DeMontre Moore had 55 defensive snaps. Jeremiah Valaga, he had 44. That's exactly 99. And then you add in Kentavious Street at 38 snaps. What is that, 127? Yeah. So it's 127 total snaps. If you can keep Dion Jordan's snap count that low, what could he bring to the table?
Sacks, production.
It's not only that. Like you saw these guys start to hit a wall like late in games as far as like Bosa. And he's a high motor guy and he's in excellent shape. I'm not questioning that, but he didn't play football for over a year. And he came off an injury, and he made it that far into the season before he started to, like, you know, it really, like, hit him. Like, I'm talking, like, the playoffs. Like, in that Super Bowl, he was gassed at the end of the game. Like, you saw he broke down in tears, but that's another story. I see this as a similar piece, and it's funny, like, Mike, you brought up the 94 team. They added a guy by the name of Tim Harris as a backup edge guy that could back up, like, spell Ricky Jackson and stuff like that. So yeah, six shot. So I see him playing that role, coming in like to spell D Ford. He's a 4'5" guy coming out of the college. He's 6'6", 270. He's built like an Adonis. He's huge. He's strong. He really doesn't have multiple moves. I've seen him bull rush a lot. And I also seen him try to get the edge, but he's not as polished as like the D Fords and the Bosas and all them. But he offers the speed, which this team is lacking last year as a backup to D Ford. They didn't have a true speed guy off the edge. Now, when they saw, I was kind of shocked when they signed him. I knew what he was about, but that physical for Ansah must have been horrible. The reason why they didn't sign him. I'm just saying.
I don't want to
shit, Tony. Talk shit, Tony.
I don't want to think that though, Tony. Like
I really, for that, just look at it like this, right?
I know
it's one or two things. It's if that physical was horrible, or the Niners offered both of them this deal, and they went with the guy who took it. That's the two there.
Okay. I'm gonna beg to think differently, just a little bit, but I get where you coming from.
But this is the interesting piece right here. If it was a choice and his physical was okay and he came out okay, Jordan and
Ansah,
and Kocurek said go with him, that's very interesting.
So can I add to what you're saying now? Because now I feel like I get where you're going with this. So here's the thing. When I kept scratching my head, the only thing that was coming out of my head, and I don't have dandruff, but the only thing that I was getting was the simple fact of you mentioned it. You talked about speed, and that was the one thing we talked about on the show. That was the one thing we kept saying. Also, the reason why I said sacks, Mike, is from what Tony just said. He's going to allow our starters to breathe. He's going to be fresh energy and fresh speed off the bench. So what does that mean? He's not going to see a lot of snaps. Why? Because D Ford is probably not going to see a lot of snaps. And you're going to bring these guys in on those third and long, those situational downs. But Can you imagine having two speed guys on the field at the same time? One that's super fresh and one that plays on the speed side. Like, just imagine both of that if we needed to spell Bosa or we needed to spell Ford. Like, I think he can play both sides of the ball. And this does not mean in any way that Ronald Blair is not ready for the season. I just think that, remember, he has to still make this team. All these guys have to make the team, right? Ronald Blair is not assured making on the team either. Like, all these guys got to come out, get like and physically battle each other for a spot. But my point is, if there's spots for these guys, I think Dion Jordan gets that spot because what you said, Tony, is we lacked speed on the line. And if we could have brought in somebody fresh when D4 was out there limping in the Super Bowl, right? Because D4 looked like, let's just keep it a buck. He looked like he just looked bad in the Super Bowl. He didn't have it. Like, he was all played out. You know what I'm saying? If we just had that extra speed to force Pat Mahomes to just throw the ball out quicker, because remember in the first half, Pat Mahomes looked like he didn't even look average. He looked below average. Let's just keep it 100. Jimmy G looked above average, and then that junk just reversed. Like, it just went backwards. Like they switch roles, switch bodies, switch arms, switch whatever. They switched. So what I'm saying to agree with you, Tony, I agree with everything you said. I'm just hoping that the reason why, because the question was, I don't know, he took it off, but what do we get out of the signing from Dion Jordan? I think we're going to get speed, depth on the speed side of the pass rush. And I think that's where we were lacking, as well as regular depth.
I agree. And I also think that this administration, like John and all them, they saw something. They saw something in that Super Bowl, and they saw how, like you just said, the defensive line wore down. They didn't have the depth, so they added these pieces. You got guys coming back from injury. Blair, that defensive line didn't have Ronald Blair. That defensive line didn't have DJ Jones. That defensive line didn't have Jordan that we just picked up. So now you're adding these pieces, and their number one objective out of this whole situation is to keep these guys fresh throughout the season. I could see him potentially getting 10 snaps a game. Potentially. Potentially. If he makes this roster and they feel he could be something and help this team, he's probably going to get 10 snaps a game. It's not going to be on 3rd and long. It's going to be like those 2nd and 10s. Like,
yeah.
Just to spell Bosa. So now Bosa gets those 2 plays off, and guess who comes in fresh from the fresh leg?
Yep. There you go.
And that's what they want, because we all know for a guy who's an all-pro safety, John Lynch loves that defensive line. He loves investing in it, and they showed it. And
well, he knows that's what helped make him all pro.
Exactly.
Like Lynch get it. Like, if you notice that Lynch is a trench guy, he wants to win in the trenches. He wants to draft the trenches. Like, that's what he's going to start off with, because he believes that it enables the rest of the defense to be better, to play at a higher level. So you win in the trenches, everybody else elevates their game. That's so perfect. But go ahead, Mike, because you ain't talked in a minute.
Hey, y'all flowing, man. I'm not, it's cool with me, man.
Mike's sitting up there like,
I'm be patient, man. I'm good, man. Y'all talking that talk, so I'm here. I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna get back to my little BS math problem that I was doing over here, and I'm gonna let y'all keep going, right? So
well, someone might ask about Clay Matthews, so maybe you could tell why they probably wouldn't go after a 3-4 guy.
Money, forget it. Clay Matthews is still gonna cost money. There's a reason why I don't think Clowney is an option right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Ziggy Ansah will probably cost a little bit more than this guy, Dion Jordan, also. And you want speed off the edge. Like, you want them to be able to line up wide. Now, I think Matthews could do that, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of snaps he's going to be looking for. You know what I mean? So listen to this real quick, and then we're going to get to Mr. Robot's comment here. So I asked you guys what the 99 plus the 38 was. It's 137. Okay, so I went back and I looked at his years, okay, from 2013 to 2019. 1 year, he had exactly 135 snaps. Okay, that was 2017. So I went to his 2017 season to see what it was. Now, this is a guy who only has 10 and a half career sacks. In 2017, he had his best year with 4 sacks, 135 snaps. All right. So maybe, just maybe, because every year other than that, it was a lot more snaps. A lot more snaps. He was 330, 220, 295, 173. So the year that he had his least amount of snaps was the year he also happened to be the most productive. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but if we get those kind of numbers, that 137 snaps that I talked about, right? If we get that from him and we get 4 sacks, are we happy with that?
Yeah. That's double the production he did last year, right? As far as snacks, as far as sacks, right? And B, it's all about what you guys stated earlier. It's all about providing rest for other guys. Like the key to winning a championship is depth. And we know that. And it's productive depth, it's healthy depth, and that depth is what helps teams win. The 49ers are adding those key components to the equation.
And they're low risk,
high reward.
That's right.
And just one more thing, it's 2 parts. Number 1, if anyone's going to get anything out of him, it's Kosaric. And number 2, maybe widening up wide in this scheme could help him.
Yeah, the angle. It's a
I'm not saying this guy's going to be a 10-sack guy. I'm not saying. I'm just saying the coaching and perhaps lining up that wide on an angle could get his speed. It could make him use his speed to his advantage because he didn't play in a system like this in Seattle, Oakland, and Miami.
And what was the one thing you said? He doesn't have a lot of moves, right? You said just the bull rush.
He just has the bull
running
rush.
forward. That's it. He's running forward. Line him up outside and let him take the angle to the quarterback.
That's it.
That's exactly what you want this guy. You said it's all the dots are all connecting as we continue to talk, guys. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna read the comment and you guys answer my question. Okay. Do you think Jim Tomsula was a better defensive line coach than Chris Kosaric? Don't answer now. I'm gonna read the comment. Think about it. Okay. Mr. Robot says, does signing Dion mean Blair won't be ready for season start? Not is he not going to play, not is he never going to be back for season start. I think it's a good question. It's a fair question, right?
That's a good question. It's a good question. I think this signing has nothing to do with Ronald Blair. I mean, I understand they put him on that list, whatever the hell I don't even know what it's called, but it means nothing right now because we're in the preseason and we're not cutting down to the 55-man spot. Now, if they put him on a list, when it comes down to the 55, then it's 6 weeks. So that's what you got to be watchful. You have to watch for. But now that means nothing. That means he's just working out in the side field, strengthening that knee. But every video I've seen, he looks great. He really does. He's running around. He's cutting on that knee. Everything looks good. He actually looks like he's slimmed up a little bit. But we just said it. It's about Dion coming in and providing rest to either Bosa or Ford, or maybe both of them guys could rest at the same time, and they go with a Blair Dion Jordan combo. You don't know. But I got something interesting to say about that question you read before. But go ahead. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I said I don't think that this has anything. The signing of Dion Jordan has anything to do with Ronald Blair. I think Ronald Blair is on a healthy schedule for return. Remember, he's a rotational piece, so it's not like he was starting. But I think he's going to be ready to come in when they call his number, and I think he's going to come in and provide the same, if not even more of an explosiveness on that outside. That's the one thing that I love about this squad. Like, that's what they're doing. They're just replenishing pieces. You could put him on the strong side, like with Bosa. You could put Jordan on the side with Ford. They can rotate. They can flip. You can switch Armstead out there. Like it's just, I'm getting confused with all the looks that they're going to probably be providing, and I'm not even on the offensive line. Like, I'm not even trying to block these guys. So I think that, to answer the question for you, Mr. Robot, I think, yes, Blair is going to be ready for season start. And I think if Dion Jordan makes this team, he's going to be ready for season start. But here's the interesting thing, though. What if it comes down to those two guys to make this squad? So there's a lot of questions that we got to fill out because The cuts are going to start happening, guys, and there's no preseason football for us to watch. So we're just going to have to go out there and see what they do, see how they're evaluated in their practices, and then, take it from there. But I believe both of these guys will find a spot on the team, but that means other players may not find themselves a spot on this team.
And don't forget, we added Kerry Hyder.
I know.
Who's a guy that can come off the edge and a guy that can line up inside. So now with Kerry Hyder, who also played with Kocurek, and by the way, had his best statistical season in Detroit under Kocurek. But there's a name I'm just going to tell you right now, and I know everyone, when I say this name, they're going to be like, who? What? Who? There's a guy that they signed as a street free agent out of the CFL. His name is Jonathan Congo.
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy came out of Tennessee, SEC competition. He was a pretty damn good guy off the edge. He's like 6'5", 255, 260 maybe, towards ACL. Went the CFL route, was the number 2 overall pick, I think, in that draft. Played well, won a Grey Cup, I think, won a championship, and now he's trying to come back make his trip to the NFL now. I'm not saying he is going to make this roster, no, but just keep your eye on him. I could see him squeezing his way onto the practice squad, being that's going to be a larger practice squad now. And if he shows and there's a possible injury, keep that mind in the back of your head. The guy's pretty damn talented.
Agreed.
But you could be looking at guys like everyone's talking. I just looked at the chat. Everyone's talking about Taylor. Well, Taylor better get his head on, man, because with Kerry Hyder slitting, you got Blair coming back, and you got Givens, who played well. He was the first guy they pulled up when the injuries happened.
Kevin Givens, yes.
So there's a lot of talent, and we talked about John Lynch and how he likes the defensive line. I think this defensive line has more depth than that Tampa Bay defensive line during that Super Bowl run. This team has depth like crazy.
I only remember Warren Sapp. That's bad, but that's all I remember.
Right, Warren Sapp, Brad
Simeon Rice, right?
Oh, Simeon Rice. Yeah, my bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the two inside. Yeah.
Honda too, whatever his name was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now we also had, we got to get back to the news, guys. This is going to be an hour and a half show, man. If you guys got to jump off, you guys got to let me know. But there was another more announcements. A player opted out after we last spoke. Am I correct?
Yeah, Brendel. That's the offensive lineman.
Okay, Jake Brendel, right?
Yes.
What position did he play? Do you guys know if he was a tackle or a guard?
No, he's the same type of player as Long, Spencer Long.
Guard center. So you think that was the move to counter that?
Yes.
So the Niners, other than Sean Coleman, still have 5-6 offensive tackles on this roster. Am I correct? You got Brunskill.
You have Brunskill. You have School. You have McKivitz. Well, McKivitz, I think, might start as guard.
But he was drafted tackle though.
Yeah, Trent Williams,
yep.
Mike McGlinchey. So it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
And then you have a couple other guys. I can't even. If I hold on, let me see if I can get them up real quick. There's street free agent type players.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying we kind of have a logjam at the tackle position, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I'm not complaining about it. I think that's something we need to keep our eyes on as 49er fans.
Well, the cool thing about that, Mike, is I think Justin School, and I think he's going to be he's taking on the role of the swing tackle, right? So I think School's going to be able to play left and right.
No, I think Brunskill.
See, I think they're moving Brunskill over to
right.
I think Brunskill is going to solidify that guard spot, guys, because he's just mean. Yeah. I think he solidifies that spot, and I think the fact that here's what the starting O is going to be, and so Garland or Richburg will be the center, right? Because we don't know about Weston Richburg, right. We don't know about it, so then it has to go to Ben Garland, right? So you got him in the center spot, and going to the left. At the left,
but if Richburg is healthy, so someone mentioned health, right? And I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You're correct.
Someone mentioned health a couple of comments ago about Ronald Blair. What I was going to say was the team released that list. There weren't any names on that
list. Correct.
So it was Richie James and Debo.
That on the NFI list. Correct.
Right. So doesn't that mean that everybody heard
as healthy?
Blair,
Yeah,
the center,
Richburg. Yeah.
Richburg. That means that they're all here, right? Go ahead, Tony.
No, there's active non-football injury, which is Richie James, Debo Samuel. Then there's active physically unable to perform.
Oh, the pup
which
list.
Weston Richburg, Ronald Blair, Julian Taylor.
Oh, those three are still on that list.
They're on the pup list though.
Hurd is on nothing. Hurd is cleared. Trent Taylor's cleared.
Right.
So they're ready.
So we got 5 guys or 4 guys. Did I count that wrong? 5 guys?
5 guys. 2 on the active non-football, and then the pup list.
The other 3. Which
Okay.
are Blair, Richburg, and who was the third one?
Blair, Richburg, and
That's the PUP.
Julian Taylor.
Julian Taylor.
Okay. So right now, Garland's going to be taking the reps at center.
That's what I'm saying. So
Right.
you got Garland at center. You got Tomlinson at left guard, right? And then you got McGlinchey at left tackle. I mean, not left tackle. You got Trent Williams at left tackle. And then at right guard, you're going to have Brunskill. And then you're going to have McGlinchey at right tackle. That's your offensive line. God dang. Okay, go ahead.
Or do we sign our former first round pick in Josh Garnett?
How did I know this was coming up?
Huh?
How did I know this was
Coming
coming
back, baby. Oh, Breezy.
How did I know this was coming up?
I'm kidding, guys. I am kidding. I just
Yo,
saw.
we got no viewers, bro. What the hell just happened? I'm joking.
It's all in good fun, guys. I promise you. Let's get this lucky world comment off of here. Dion Jordan was a first-round draft pick with a second chance to not be a bust.
Correct.
I think he's going to have at least 5 or 6 sacks with our players around him. You know, I didn't want to go into it because of how long we were on it, but I did have this thought about the infectious attitude.
And none of us mentioned
it. You around a Nick Bosa and a D Ford and a Ronald Blair, this guy who's been battling to get this roster spots, and Eric Armstead. These guys have been doubted, right? These guys, not only have they been doubted, they proved to be the best defensive front 4 in the entire NFL. That's what they did. They proved that we can get home with us, right? It's going to change your mindset. Look at these teams he was on. Did he play with Cameron Wake in Miami?
He might have been there, but he's never been around this depth and this type of.
He's never been around. Yes,
and it's going to help him. It has to help him.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, in Kosaric, the scheme, the new, you know, it's only going to be positive if he makes the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean says here, Brunskill's a beast. Isn't he too tall for a guard though?
No, 6'6", 6'5". No.
He took snaps at guard though, didn't he?
He did.
Right.
When who was the right guard? He played right guard when Person went down with his injury.
Person went there, and Tomlinson missed some. Oh no, that was the year before.
Yeah.
I think that was the year before.
Thompson played every game this year. Started every game, played every game.
He did.
But it was the year before. He ended up missing like week 17, some BS like that. He's been the Iron Man of the offensive line for sure.
Not bad for a 5th round pick, huh?
And then don't forget the street free agent Tom Compton either. So that's the other guy that's going to battle at that right guard spot. So there's going to be some camp battles at these guard positions, and I think McKivitz, I think he backs up. I think he backs up Tomlinson, and I think happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday Colton McKivitz. Happy birthday, hey to you.
That's it. No other show breathe it to you like that, baby. That's how we get down.
I'm telling you right now, do not leave him out on the starting right guard spot. This kid.
Yeah, I want to see him in there.
You want to talk about Kyle adding dogs?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, guys. This is my point. My point is. Wait, and it's not only did we add depth. Think about the youth and how much they're going to be able to play for a very long time. And I know we don't want to think that far into the future, but this Kivitz signing that was huge. Even though we traded and got the left tackle next, right? Or no, we got the left tackle first and then drafted him. That's what we did. I think it was huge for the simple fact that the 49ers are trying to not only replenish the offensive line, but make sure the same way we say on defense. Yeah, I mean, now you don't want your offensive line guys rotating like they do on defense, but I mean, if you have the ability to do it to where the quarterback's not skipping the beat, the offensive line is not skipping the beat, and you can get some some of your older guys with healthier legs in there, it's going to be a problem. Look, that's what they're doing. So I don't think though Tony and Mikey beats out my man Brunskill. Listen, Brunskill made this roster.
He's gonna make the roster because he's too valuable of a piece. Brunskill and the other dude,
Tom Compton.
No.
McKivitz?
No. The other school. Those guys.
School's a draft pick, and he proved
right.
Yeah.
But Brunskill can move all across the line. He's staying.
Just like that.
He's definitely staying. Him. I like Garland also. Their versatility of the guard center. So there's some guys that this team isn't going to go anywhere and do anything with. But I will be very excited to see how this offense. I swear, I wish there was a preseason, bro. I like these conversations are what we break down.
I said as soon as they announced it, it's not good.
I know.
Yeah. All right, guys, we still got a lot to dig into. Let's talk about. Let me see which one we're gonna go to now. Oh, wait. There was a comment up here. Was there a comment? Did I get them all already? Oh, by the way, Sean, I saw your thumb comment. I'm not reading it. You're not gonna rain on my parade about my guy Josh. Okay, you don't worry about that. He's running through people's souls.
He said maybe his thumb is all healed up now.
Yeah, but we knew what he meant. He throwing shots. We're not gonna let that go. We're not letting it go. All right, so guys, we have a couple of more little subjects here that we could talk about. Let's do the one that other people have probably heard of. And
Joshua Garnett was as bad as a draft pick as that defensive player that I won't mention his name. They both went to the same school. So I'm gonna keep it at that.
Okay. All right. Oh, damn, the picture's too small. I am sorry.
That's what she said.
That I said the picture. Okay.
Number 5.
All right. So you guys can't see it, but
they can see it.
Can they see that?
I'm sure they can see it.
All right. Well, I hope they can.
You
should have circled. Has his show on. What'd you say?
You should have circled the number 5. Highlighted it.
Yeah.
But you don't have an iPhone.
They have an offensive ranking. Okay. He was responding to The Athletic, which is the paid subscription site that has all the that has all the writers. And
I see you.
Colin Cowherd was responding because he said they had the Chiefs number 1 and Redskins 32. He said, but everything in between was crap. So he came up with his own top 10. He had the 49ers ranked 5th. This is offensive. Now, first I want to ask you guys, do you think he's talking about yards or scoring for the Niners to be 5th? Because as he was explaining things, he said the Niners were second in scoring last year in the league. So he can't be talking about scoring if you got us 5th, right? So his first place team is the Chiefs. His second place team is the Ravens. His third place team is the Saints. His fourth place team is the Bucks. And then there's the 49ers.
I get it.
You think he's talking about yards per game or points?
I think he's talking about pieces. And the simple fact that like those other teams just seem to have more dialed in or more productive pieces. Like if I can, all right. So the first team was the Chiefs. Obviously, we know what those pieces are, right? They got your tight end.
I don't.
Okay, well,
I can think of 2.
Okay, you got your tight end, your receiver. They got speedy receivers. All the receivers whipped our ass in the Super Bowl. Did they not?
No, one receiver got a one play.
I'm not saying they have 500 yards. I'm just saying they got open and made plays. That's why, and this is where I'm going with that. Then you got number 2 was the Saints.
Ravens were 2, Saints were 3. Exactly.
It's
and by the way, this is a list for this coming season. So he's talking about,
and I get why the Bucks are ahead of the 49ers. I can see why. Well, I mean, you got Tom Brady, who was almost trash, who's now coming into. He's got his tight end back. He's got Mike Evans. He's got what's the other guy? He got 2 other guys. Perriman, Chris Godwin. You know what's funny that I think
tight end. They got Howard.
They got OJ Howard and Gronk.
Yeah, they're not talking about that tight end duo. People are ignoring it. I'm not.
Oh shoot! I just realized that. So, at least we don't play him this year. So here's the thing, though, Mike. And then who that was what, 3?
They were 4.
And then
Saints were 3.
Saints. Well, we know what the Saints got. We know they're going to put up points and yards or whatnot, and they just added another piece that they took away from the Niners, and that could be the reason why the Niners are 5th, because one of our big productive guys or guys that kept stuff open was Emmanuel Sanders. He's now a Saint. So remember, a lot of the pieces that we have, they haven't been seen yet. Right, they haven't really got a chance to be on the field and play like Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor.
Now, okay, so this is why I don't like that. What you just said, that they haven't been seen yet, and you're right. I get it, but then how can the Bucs be here? We haven't seen how they look
because they're going off of the names: Brady, Gronk.
No. But we have seen. We know Mike Evans can produce. He produced with Jameis Winston. Them cats had 30 touchdowns with Jameis Winston last year, so they were producing last year, bro. Like they were producing.
Yeah, and Jameis Winston can throw the ball better than Tom Brady. I'll say it. I know y'all won't say it.
He's not more accurate than Tom Brady, bro.
He's throwing the ball better.
He's not. No.
30 interceptions for a reason.
So then that's not throwing the ball better. He can throw it deeper.
No, that's not true. He can throw the ball better.
He can throw it deeper.
Better.
That's deeper.
No.
Better is accurate, correct? Isn't that the same thing?
No. He's got better velocity.
Does he?
Then Tom, are you kidding? Tom Brady was throwing ducks. It looked,
yeah.
Did you see it?
So that's my thing. Now you're bringing Tom Brady into this Tampa Bay offense where you said that Jameis Winston was throwing. He had time to throw, whatever. It's gonna be different. I think
throws are gone. Chris Godwin's role has to completely change now.
We'll see. But we're gonna have to see. We don't know that. I still think I watched Brady throw the ball deep last year. It's just that he ain't have no receivers to catch it.
I'll just say this: that offensive line better wake up.
They better. Did they get an offensive lineman? Didn't they draft?
They took Tristan Wirfs,
the guy that right because that they traded up. So got you. Boom. All right. So yes, and then we're 5th. My point is, I think they're going off of what names, like what Tony said. That's pretty much what it is. That's all it is. They're going off with names and what those names have previously produced. So if you had a Tampa Bay offense already scoring high, they're gonna probably score higher. There's 2 things that Tampa and Kansas City lack that I think that
a consistent run game.
I didn't even have to say it.
Right. Yeah, we're the most. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, this is one thing. This is the first year Tom Brady has been in a different offense than Tampa Bay, than New England. Okay, number one, this is the problem here. Bruce Arians is known to attack deep. He loves launching the ball down the field. That's why Carson Palmer had success with Bruce Arians because he bombed the ball down the field.
Brady can't throw deep.
And he really doesn't know that unless Bruce Arians does something to this offense, changes it, and alters it to his strengths, it's going to be a huge transition from New England to Tampa, in my opinion. It's not knocking the wide receivers. It's mainly the offensive system that's in place in Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna say this right now, Tony. Who's their slot guy? Is that Brett Perriman, or is that their deep guy? Rashawn Perriman. Is that their slot guy?
From the
Perriman's on the Jets now.
Yeah, he went from the Ravens to the Jets, right?
Yeah, they got
whoever's their slot guy going to feast. That's all.
I don't know who their slot guy is,
because it's not Godwin, right? Because you said he's the deep guy.
It's Godwin. It's Evans. I don't know who their slot guy is.
I can't remember right now. But here's the thing, though. Here's a stupid stat that I just happen to know, right? Jameis Winston threw 7 touchdown passes of 20 yards or more after contact, which means he shook somebody off, someone touched him or got to him, made a play, and bombed the ball down the field. Tom Brady's not doing that this year.
Correct. Not
behind that line. Not 42-year-old Tom Brady.
Correct. And this is probably why they're going to try to protect him they can give him time to get those surgically. Tom Brady was a surgeon. He was never the deep guy He had Randy Moss 1 year and he became the deep guy. But after that, like he's a surgeon. He likes to get the ball across the middle. He likes when teams play zone because he likes to tell people that he's better than the team's defense. He can beat the zone. If teams do that and he has those pieces, I can see why they're projected. I'm not saying that they're better than the 49ers. That's not what's coming out of my mouth. Oh, Adam Humphries?
No, he's on the Titans. He's not with them. He was with them years ago.
So who is their third one? I
don't know. And then you're right. You guys are correct. Rashad Perriman was traded, not traded to the Jets. Was he traded to the Jets or a free agent to the Jets? Either way, he's a Jet.
And others are wide receivers for the Tampa.
Sorry, John Franklin, Scott Miller. Yeah, it's a bunch of random names.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's going to be like. Because if Tom Brady doesn't have the slot guy, I don't see how their offense is going to produce.
So let's do this. Are we mad at the Niners being 5? Let's first talk about that. How do you go from 2 to 5 by getting more weapons back and a quarterback that was in his first year, full year with Shanahan?
I still don't know what the preface of it is. Like what
points? Because he mentioned points per game.
So then yes, I'm mad. So then if it's off of points, I'm upset because if we were second in
29 points a game last year, 29.
Ain't no damn way we gonna be less than second. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, then I'm mad. So if it's off of points, you goddamn right, I'm upset because I just see Jimmy G being surgical,
yes,
and slicing up the D. That's what I see him doing.
Marina Bobbitt out there, huh? He just
cutting it off. Right.
All right. I'm sorry, Tony. That wasn't appropriate. Wait, I know Tony wanted to jump in. Go ahead, buddy. What were you going to say?
The way I see it is I think he's trying to say who's number 2? You said the Saints are number 2.
No,
Ravens were number 2.
And that was my other problem is because every year, I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
The Saints are 3.
Yes, Saints were 3rd,
and then Tampa's 4. I think the Niners should be in front of Tampa. Well, not me. I think he's looking at it as okay. The Niners' number 1 guy on paper and through people's heads was Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders left San Francisco and he went to New Orleans and teamed up with Thomas. I think Ted Ginn's there still. Trayvon Smith, that wide receiver, the young kid. And so that would put New Orleans in front of San Francisco. And I think Tampa is in front of San Francisco because of the names. So listen, I'm good with 5. That just puts more pressure on the teams in front of the Niners to say, oh, we really got to get going. We got to get, make sure we're up to par. But if I was doing it, I would put the Niners right behind the Saints, in my opinion.
I just feel like we finished the season 2 and we should start the season off 2. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're trying to predict though. Okay, you're losing a veteran to replace him with a rookie, a guy who's never played in the league. You're projecting on how he's going to fit, and now you're adding another proven veteran to Drew Brees' offense and Sean Payton.
Understood.
That's the way I guess he's really looking at
it. And I understand that, and I do, and that's why I think that's why he ranked us at 5. Listen, we're top 5. At the end of the day, we've been ranked top 5. Now we, like Tony said, we go out there and we bust down 5 and we get to 4 and we get to 3, we get to 2, they get to 1. And then you're just going to have to make them respect you, right? Like that's what you got to, you make the mother freakers respect you. Money, power, respect. That's what it's all about, right? So they're going to go out there and they're going to make people respect them. And that's what's going to happen in 2021. Bearing there's a football season. No, we cannot hear you, Mike. So Mike's going to have to dip out really quickly and we'll continue this conversation or whatnot. And I know people say that they hate to say that I'm bleep riding Tom Brady. Listen, I'm a Tom Brady fan. He went to freaking Michigan. If y'all can't get that shit through your thick fucking skulls, get the fuck out of here. That's who I like Tom Brady. I like a lot of players or just about every player that go to Michigan. I kind of support. That's kind of like just who I am. So that's just what it is. So y'all can say what y'all want and it's cool. But all I'm saying is Tom Brady's still playing. Until he stops playing, he's probably the greatest player to still play the game. So y'all might want to just get a guy his respect until he's done, and then we can move on from Tom Brady. But that's what that is. All right. So anyway, top 5, I'm cool with it, Tony. like you said, I just felt like we should start off a little bit higher, but I think you hit the nail on the head, bro. You said we got some unprovens, right? Where we lost our proven. Like which, correct me if I'm wrong. You said when we had Emmanuel Sanders, the offense went from like ashy to classy, right? They were bad.
First game versus the Panthers.
And
Jimmy went from throwing into a receiver's chest to throwing a wide receiver
spot.
Throwing to a spot, and you saw it. He connected right off the bat. Boom, touchdown. I was like, okay, this is what we're missing, a veteran.
And that's what I'm saying, Tony. So that's why I get where you're coming from with the analysis, and that's probably it's got to be that. It's got to be that. I am upset. You know what makes me upset though? I just feel like no one respects the 49ers, and that's got to stop. And
no one will ever respect the 49ers.
Okay.
It's been like that forever, and it's ridiculous. But I mean, listen, it's easy for us to say we know what we have in Ayuk. We did a draft show. We covered every pick.
Correct.
We study film on him. We know what we're looking. He's the best scheme fit for the 49ers coming out of the draft. Not the best player, but the best fit. So we know what we have. They don't. They're looking as a national media, looking at all 32. Go ahead, Mike.
I typically agree with that. National media. But Cowherd knows his Niners. He's the one guy that I know knows his Niners, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what Shanahan does with a quarterback in their second year. Yeah. He knows the weapons we're getting back. He mentioned them. He knows the weapons that we're getting back. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I jumped back in like all random. Y'all are probably ready to move on.
Nah, cool.
But like he knows the weapons that we're getting back. He knows that we were suffering and damaged last year.
And
right?
that's
and
why,
I was trying to pull it up. Was Sanders even the leading receiver last year?
He wasn't, and he didn't have to be. It's just that when he came, it opened up the heavens and the floodgates for the other receivers to eat. Because guys couldn't get open, Mike. No,
you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm not going to deny that.
They couldn't separate. They couldn't find ways to get open. We had to utilize Debo out of the backfield. Like we had to be creative. And then all of a sudden, he taught guys how to play wide receiver. Now you can see that these receivers are like, okay. So when you keep saying he's seen it, he has seen it, but that piece is also missing. So the question is, can they do it now without Sanders being there? And I think that's why.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. We went from having basic wide receivers to having a great wide receiving group. And now you remove Sanders and we're back to the way it was. But we got some guys back from injury, and then we got one rookie coming in to try to replace the role of Sanders. So we know what it's about. We studied the film. I know Colin is a huge 49ers fan. I know that. He's backed the Niners since Kyle's been here. But the question is he really like breaking down film? Is he watching every draft pick that we did live? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not knocking Colin. I love him. I think he's great. I love his show and people on it. But
hey, Joy. No, I wasn't supposed to do that, was I? I wasn't supposed to do that. My bad.
But no, yeah. All bullshit aside, I think that's what the problem is. I think the national media is saying they went from nothing to something with Emmanuel, and now Emmanuel's gone, so they're back to where they were. So now we have to prove. I know we're getting Jalen Hurd. I know we're getting Ayuk. I know we got Trent Taylor back. So the pieces that we know are coming back, correct. But now these pieces need to show the national media that they're back.
Correct.
Okay. Now, again, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity. If anybody has to dip, you can go ahead and do that. We're having a lot of fun with the show. We got a couple more categories I want to get to tonight. It's rare that the three of us get to do a show together, so I'm really enjoying myself. So I apologize if I'm keeping you guys longer than you want to be here. Oh, well, what's this comment here from behind enemy lines?
He says,
by the way,
go ahead.
I love this. Remember we had a show?
Yeah, behind enemy lines. Yes, we did.
I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up. Go ahead, Breeze. You got it.
We're universally disrespected and underrated by the national media. Short, coward, and Kellerman sometimes. Yeah, this is what Tony and I was just talking about while Mike was away coming back. I think they're going to be underrated until they win the Super Bowl. It's
But
almost like
why is that the standard? The
it-
Ravens haven't won shit.
it's
The Ravens
almost.
haven't won the Super Bowl with this regime.
I don't know. It's something about being a 49er. Think about the 1994 Super Bowl championship team. No, Steve Young, underrated. The dude had to win a Super Bowl, get the monkey off his back, and he became the football god. But he had to win the Super Bowl, bro. And it didn't even matter. All the numbers Steve Young was putting up, all the escape artists he was doing, like getting out of sacks, not getting tackled, running for first down, throwing his body out there. No matter what Steve Young did, none of it mattered until he won the Super Bowl. And we had to go out there and stock a defense to do that. Like, right? We knew the offense could put up points. We needed a defense that cannot necessarily stop teams from scoring, but take away points. That's what that defense was. Whereas this team right here looks like this defense looks like they're going to be stopping people from scoring going forward. So all these high offensive teams we saw on Coward's list, they may not want to play this 49ers defense. I'm just keeping it a buck. They probably won't score more than 13 points. Mike, don't be frustrated, bro. Just keep.
I don't know if you can see it in my face.
No, bro, it's written all over your face.
Y'all might see me smash something on camera, bro. I'm trying really, and like my wife just came out here and was talking to me. She knows how. Like I'll smash a whole computer out of because I feel better when it's done.
It's not worth it.
I got two laptops in my other closet right now because I start punching them. I smash them on my knee. Like
bro, that's 600 a pop, bro. Just close it nice and neat. You know what I'm saying?
You know how it was when me trying to get in earlier. You know what's crazy, bro? Like the show was supposed to start at 8:30. I was in at 8:20. I was 10 minutes early, and we didn't start till 10 minutes late because of my technical difficulty. Like I was ready. Like that's how frustrated I'm getting right now. I'm sweating more. Y'all can't see it because of the little thing holding my water back. But man, look.
Hey, listen. This is where Mike needs to go out, get a MacBook, and he'll be fine. But Mike swears by the almighty PC. So to all my Mac family out there, please tell Mike to go out there because he doesn't want to listen to Breezy, man. All right. You know how Mac come through on the club tip.
Yes,
everybody
sir. Yes,
real
sir.
deep on that thug.
The reason we call this show They Don't Know Who We Be was because of this topic right here. It's the disrespect by the national media. It's like
at least it's clear to me. No, I did that. I got it back. We back now. See, I was, it's clear to me that the media doesn't know who the 49ers really are about to be this year. It's like this team didn't just make the play. It's like this team didn't just win the NFC West. We didn't just come 7 minutes and 20 seconds from a Super Bowl. Like, it's like they have no idea who we – and now, listen, I'm complaining about us being ranked 5th. 2 years ago, I would have killed for that kind of respect. But how do you go from 2nd to 5th when your team improved? That's the stuff that I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to bump the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up? That's cool. And they put up points, too. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like the Bucs didn't score points. You want to bump them up because they got Tom Brady and Gronk? All right, cool. Give them a couple spots. That's cool. I'm with that. But ahead of the second scoring team, and then you're going to pretend like you don't know that every year Greg Roman coaches, his teams get worse and worse and worse?
Yeah.
We've seen this trick before. The Ravens now are the 2012 San Francisco 49ers. We've seen this before. You know what I'm saying? And they blew their load because they decided to sit everybody for 3 weeks. They gave those guys 3 weeks off and then put them in the playoffs. Greg Roman didn't know what to do with himself. You know what I'm saying? He don't have an alternative game plan. We know what the Ravens are going to do this year. They're going to come out flat. They're going to win 10 games if they're lucky. They're going to go from 14 wins to 10. And that's if they're lucky, they maybe make the playoffs. But all of a sudden, all that running, that passing, all that the quarterback is doing, they put that – it's a kibosh on that. It's done. Yes. It's done. Greg Roman can't adjust. It's that same exact offense we were running here. But Cowherd, he's smarter than that. The media don't respect what this Niners team is, man. We are evolving. They think they're going to come out here and get the same rigmarole that Kyle Shanahan was doing last year. We just talked about how we went from finesse to physical. Like, they got us. They don't know, man. They don't. All right, let me shut up. I'm gonna shut up. What's this comment here? This is from 49er fan. Hey, how do you think Tony Oden and Mike Ruttenberg helps our secondary? I'm a bit concerned about it. Now, this is interesting. This is some concern here. Go ahead, fella. Did y'all talk about this already, or am I late?
Nope. Tony, you got it.
All right, so Tony Oden, listen, I'm not going to sit here and put him on the Joe Woods level. Joe Woods we were very fortunate to get Joe Woods in San Francisco last year after being fired in Denver, coming over from a defensive coordinator spot to a defensive back coach and passing game coordinator. But I will say this, Tony Oden's very respected in this league, and he did one hell of a job with the Miami Dolphins with Howard, developing Howard into a Pro Bowl cornerback. He worked well with what's his name, Slay? Demetrius Slay or Dontarius Slay? The corner of Detroit.
Darius Slay.
He worked well with him. He's like one of those under the radar things. Like I remember when the Niners hired Koceric last year, and I remember I spoke to Mike about it, and they were talking about it on the NFL show on Sirius. And they were very kind of laid back about it. Like, oh yeah, he's a defensive line coach, da 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 da. Well, look what he turned to be, man. I mean, he turned out to be one hell of a freaking coach, and probably, in my opinion, the top 3-4 offensive defensive line coach in the league. But with that being said, I think Ruttenberg is going to work with Tony Oden to help on the scheme end of it.
Now, let's define their roles, Tony. I know you're speaking and you're answering the question that was asked there, but let's all right.
So Oden is the defensive back coach now.
Yes, there you go.
What's the other guy's name? Ruttenberg. Yeah. I forgot his exact role, but he's something with an analyst on the defensive side of the ball, I guess, to help work with those guys like Oden and I think Bullocks is a safety coach, and I think they're going to work together as a team and try to really take that secondary to the next level.
So Mike, sorry, his name is Mike Ruttenberg. He's a pass game.
He's the pass game guy. Yeah,
a specialist, I should say.
Yeah, so he's going to work with Oden and Bullocks on coming up with game plans and working on schemes and coverages in defensive game planning, the way I'm understanding it. But listen, don't sleep on him. He worked with some big guys and helped them in their careers. So, okay,
all right. So hopefully that's a sufficient answer, man. Brian, thank you for the contribution there too. But yeah, man, it's just this team is going to be different for sure. And one thing that I'm hoping, y'all going to think I'm crazy here, right? I'm really hoping that we have a defensive or a secondary coach that can stand up to Shanahan. I don't want to say too much here, but I know that Shanahan has pulled some players that didn't deserve to be pulled at certain times on the defensive side of the ball because he wasn't aware of the call. Correct. You get what I'm saying? Shanahan is the offensive coordinator and all that stuff, and so he sees a bad play happen on the field, and he's like, what the heck? Get him out. You're the boss. You got that guy's gone now. That's Kyle Shanahan. That is the head coach. That guy's gone. We'll talk about it afterwards. We'll talk about it on the sidelines. We'll talk about it post game. I would like to see a guy in the secondary who's coaching say, I know you think that guy was wrong there, but that wasn't his assignment.
Yeah, that guy might be out of a job though, Mike. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're trying to get our coaches fired. Mike, you're 100% correct though. But here, I will give this to Kyle. He has gone off the air and said his bad, like he didn't realize that he was wrong, right? He and until he went and watched the tape, and when they reviewed the tape, he realized that. And I'm going to say his name. It wasn't a Keller Weatherspoon's fault. He was in the right play at the right spot at the right time. But this guy, right. Yeah. So he has bigged up players and took the own on his bad for removing them from the game. You know what I'm saying?
But this is a problem with the coaching staff, and this is not a knock on Shanahan either, right? Okay. Shanahan's responsibility is to say, hey, I'm identifying what I think is a weak link.
Correct.
Let's get it out of there. He's doing the right thing.
Correct.
Where the wrong person is whoever's job it is to tell Shanahan, no, that guy was right. What happened was this. Now that person is in the wrong. During a game, if Shanahan doesn't know what the call is, you have to have the gall to stand up and say, hey, coach, I understand what you're saying. Like, take him out for a play. Go pull the coach to the side while the next play is happening. Yeah. Hey, this guy was in the right. This was the call I made. So he was in the right. Okay, cool. And then put him back out there, and then that's it. You don't have to worry about that later. You get what I'm saying? But because of stuff like that, now it changes the perception. It changes the perception of the fan base. It could affect a player's mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's a big downpour. You got to be able to stand up and say, hey, man, look, I hear you. I respect it. He's out. But this is what really happened. And you got to go out there and do what you got to do. I want to see somebody who and Woods, I thought was that guy. I thought Woods was the guy that Richard Sherman was going to be saying, hey, he's got a pedigree. He's won chips. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy that I respect. Because before we heard about what Jeff Hafley was doing with, hey, Sherman, what do you think about this when you see that? That's bullshit. You can't do that in the NFL. That's crap. Right. I'm sorry. I don't want to curse. That's crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. You can't ask a player what he thinks. You're the coach. So I want to see that again. I want to see someone tell, just check the offensive guy what's going on your defensive side. That's all.
And that's where the role of Salah needs to come in, because he's the guy that should be the one to say, nah. You get what I'm saying?
And get that position coach in trouble, right?
And maybe you get that from Robert Saleh this year, right? Because Saleh's on his way out to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
My buddy Joe Woods right there.
So Saleh's on his way out to be a head coach and all that good stuff. Hey, listen, guys, I apologize for cursing earlier because Mike made me sound like Mike. He won't say the bad words, so I'm stuck out there on a limb by myself, and that's cool. I'm cool. I like to be a loner. I apologize if I offended anybody. I just don't like it when people feel like I'm deriding. That's just not who I am.
I don't know what you said. I missed it. I must have missed it.
Good. So that's just not who I am. I just give credit to where credit is due. If all the 49er players were leading in every statistical category, you wouldn't hear nothing about, they would get all the credit. But until Tom Brady retires, he's going to be that guy. I don't care if his play looks like it declined or not. We just got to wait for him to get out of the league. He's still here, right? He's still a problem. You still got a game plan against him or whatnot. But I do apologize if I offended anybody. That's not who I am. Anyway, but Mike, please don't get our coaches fired, because that's what you're on the verge of doing. But I would like for Saleh to be the one to do that for our coaches. We get new coaches. He talking about, I want this guy to come out here from Miami, and I want him to say, "Hey, coach, you wrong.
Man, you wrong. You fired." Oh, I was playing. So
I wasn't playing, man. Put me back in, coach. Put me back in. Yeah. Come on, Mike. Trying to get guys fired, man. Shoot.
I'm sorry. Thank you guys for the contribution. The last two comments. You guys are really bigging up the show, and we bring this to you guys because just like this comment says here, just wanted to say great show and big thanks, fellas, for getting us through what feels like the longest summer ever. Yeah, man, it's been rough on all of us. We should be breaking down and preparing for games right now.
Correct.
And we're sitting here still talking about stuff that could have been discussed 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We're going to get through this together, guys. We are a family. We are a 49ers family. We're going to get through this. All right.
I like this comment. Wait, we got to read this comment. Our brother Kenny, he says, sorry I'm late. Had to pack, getting ready for my second son, who will be here on Tuesday. And it's also good to see Tony back. Well, we're going to send you an early congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Pray everything goes well for you. God bless you and your family.
Mike is a great name. Mike.
I like Breezy. I think you'll be the only Breezy, real official Breezy on the transcript, and I'll have to change my name if you do Breezy though. But no, congratulations, brother.
Someone else just had a child too, and I wanted to say it on here, and I can't remember who it was. So I'm sorry. It was someone on Twitter that I saw. I was going to shout out a couple of people, but I'm sorry, I can't do it. But that's dope, man. He said it's his second son, right?
Correct.
Oh, man, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. Cherish those young men, raise them right, man. Teach them how to love a lady or whatever. Teach them how to love people.
WAP?
No, we are not doing that here. Tony's sitting here like, what? No,
what?
It's good. It's good. All right, so we got one more topic to get into. We have actually 2 or 3 more, but I just want to get into one more, and then we're going to go home. Well, We're going to do two more because one is the getting to know us. We're going to do that on Sunday shows, getting to know us. But this one right here, guys, I know this could be a long, drawn-out thing. We don't have to make it long and drawn out, but there's a lot of people saying that the Seahawks are going to be better than – by the way, that athletic article that had the offenses ranked had the Seahawks 5th in the league. The same
we were
team that was – no, I'm talking about the athletic. So Cowherd did his own and had
Oh,
the
from
5th.
the Athletic. Gotcha.
Right. Athletic had the Seahawks 5th. Yeah. Like what? Like, listen, I like Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in our division. He might be the best quarterback in the NFC. But it's crazy to me that you have that offense because as good as he is,
They still don't have an offensive line,
right? But who do you guys think is the biggest threat to the Niners this year? I let me start with this. I'm not going to give my answer yet, but I will say this: at the end of last year, and even immediately following the draft, I thought it was going to be the Arizona Cardinals. I have no problem saying it. I liked how they played against us, and I think I was letting that cloud my judgment. Because you play a specific team well doesn't mean that you're going to do well against other opponents. And so you might sweep the Niners, but you can still finish that season 2-14. So I want to ask you guys the question, who do you think is the biggest threat to the 49ers in the NFC West?
NFC West or NFC? Because you put
NFC. Oh, it's supposed to be – oh, damn, you're right. My bad. Let me edit that real quick. NFC.
Tony, you go first, brother.
I was going to –
I'm sorry.
Anytime Russell Wilson's on the field for the Seahawks, it's always a challenge for the 49ers. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's never like we've never blown them out. They never blown us out. It always comes down to like the last play. But I will say this.
They've blown us out before. Don't say that.
Under Kyle?
Oh, under Kyle.
Yeah. I don't think they ever blew us. I think the most we lost by was a touchdown. They blew us out like I even think before Harbaugh. No,
they beat the shit out of us with Harbaugh. When we were in Seattle, it was some ugly games up there, bro. It was some with Colin as a quarterback, we got beat by 2 or 3 touchdowns out there. But I'm not sure about the Kyle thing.
I think it's been tight with
what was the score for Jimmy's first start? Because that's where he played. I know he came in late.
Jimmy's first start was against the Bears, right?
Well,
yeah, what happened was
his first start against Seattle, though. He did play that game.
His first start against Seattle was in 2000. It was this year.
Oh, that was this year?
Yeah, because all right, so Beathard got hurt, and then Jimmy went in for the last drive of that
the Seattle game. Got you.
That was the one time he played them, and then
Jimmy.
And then last year, not this year that passed, but the year before that, Jimmy got hurt in the 3rd game, so he never played Seattle that year. And then this year was his first time playing them.
Got you.
So,
can you believe that Jimmy Garoppolo was C.J. Beathard's backup quarterback?
Don't get me started on C.J. Beathard, bro.
Okay.
I'm still mad. Brock Rudder gone, so I'm. Let's. All
right, so is Tony going with Seattle? Is that what that's what that is?
It sounds like it, right? He's doing it.
Listen. I'm very close to saying Arizona because they play us tough, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that scheme that we just cannot cover. It like there's pros and cons to each because let's say there's Seattle and they have Russell Wilson, but their offensive line isn't great. Their defensive line, they lost Clowney, they lost a couple pieces. But then you flip the script to they did add Jamal Adams, but then you flip the script to Arizona where their offensive line isn't that great, and their defensive line isn't that great, but they added a freak athlete at linebacker in Simmons. And they have Murray who just runs in circles and right and left and extends the pocket and just makes that throw. But they also added Hopkins. So it's kind of – I don't know. It's one of those two teams. I still think the Rams could be a good team, but I just think the way they handed out contracts to players that were on that team that they're still paying that aren't even on that team, they screwed that whole team up. I thought they could have been a pretty good team, but damn, man, this is tough.
It is tough. And then, you know what? While you're thinking about it, before you give your final answer, I just want to remind people of where we are. The team that played the Niners in our division the hardest game per game was the Cardinals. The team that was in the Super Bowl the year before the 49ers was the Rams, right? Didn't the Rams make it all the way to the Super Bowl? And the Seahawks have not missed the playoffs since Russell Wilson has been here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough freaking
very
division.
tough division.
There is no easy answer, and there's no wrong answer here either. I wouldn't be mad if every single one of us came up with a different answer. So there's no wrong answer because the NFC West is a damn good division. So
Tony,
all right, yeah.
Anymore, Tony. Which one you going with? He done broke down all three of the teams. Shit, he might as well. Shit.
I would have to say Seattle.
Okay. I'm not mad at that at all.
Hey man, as much as I think Russell Wilson is going to always give the 49ers problems as long as he's a Seahawk, I'm going to go with a different team. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Listen, I know the Rams struggled last year, but they did play us in that second game pretty tough. We had to come back and win that one. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that game, but that game wasn't a gimme game because Jared Goff was eating the 49ers up and eating them alive. So I'm going to go with the Rams, and here's why. It's something I don't like about Sean McVay. And I feel and Sean McVay is that type of guy or that type of coach that says, you got me. I understand. But he's a coach that's probably training. He's out there running up and down. He's doing something to be with his team, to get on the mindset of his team, man. And I'm not going to sleep on the Rams because I just feel like the Rams, they're not weak. I know we think they're weak because they lost their running back, but they got a rookie. They got Cam Akers. They
lost their running back 2 seasons ago,
but they picked up another running back and got Cam Akers. Hey, you guys, look, I'm not gonna get mad at you. You can laugh at me all you want.
No,
just go ahead and we're gonna see how the Rams play. They can go 2-14, but let not be them 2 wins be against the 49ers.
Right.
It's a possibility. All right.
Tony, I saw you wanted to jump it back in.
Can you pull that comment up at 10:13 Niners One Nation and just hold it so we don't lose it?
I'll put it up.
No, not that one.
It's 10:30. Oh, my bad.
That one. Hold it there.
All right. Tony said the Seahawks, and I get that because, like he said, anytime Russell Wilson's out there, they've got a shot. There's no gimme games. And that's the one thing I want. I want the Niners to blow the freaking Seahawks out. I want a convincing win, not a game that comes down to their final drive on the freaking half-yard line.
Yeah.
I want to win convincingly there in their house so people say, hey, you could have lost that game. That's the one thing I don't like about this season, right? We had 13 wins this year, right? And as a Niner fan, I'm saying 3 of those losses that we had, we could have won those games. If it weren't for this one play in each of those games, we would have been 16-0. But I also know that on the flip side, there were 3 games that we won that we were 1 play away from losing. That 4th and 2 in New Orleans, I know everybody praises that as some crazy play, right? But if George Kittle don't convert that one play, and everybody knew it was going to George Kittle on that play, he don't get that first down, that game is over. We lose that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
you should have lost that game, the Steelers game.
The
first Cardinals game.
Yes,
we had about 5 losses we probably should have had.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, those are the kind of games that drive me crazy because I can't definitively say the 49ers are better than the Seahawks. And the Seahawks have taken a lot of steps backwards, right? But the Seahawks isn't going to be my team. And then Breezy came in and he said the Rams, right? And he said there's something about Sean McVay I don't like. You know what? Sean McVay was feeling himself. He came in here. He took that team over. 13 wins out the gate, and they were looking like the next da-da-da. People were saying that Sean McVay, the student, had surpassed the teacher, Kyle Shanahan. He was the better version of Kyle Shanahan. Grant was saying this. These are things that Grant Cohn was saying. Sean McVay is the 3rd best head coach in offensive mind in the entire NFL, behind only Sean Payton and Andy Reid. These were words that people were actually out there saying, right? And then they come back this year, and it's like, what happened? But you know what? Breezy, remember the first time we beat the snot out of the Rams? What did Sean McVay do? You said there was something about him you didn't like, right?
Did he not shake? Oh, go ahead.
he called the Cardinals and said, "Hey,
Oh,
y'all almost had him.
Yeah.
Y'all almost had him. What'd you do?
Yep.
What was the plan?
Yep.
Right?" And he said, "All right, that's what you did.
Which
I'm
you
going to
can't
incorporate that."
you can't knock that though. That's
Right. That's what you don't like about him is because he doesn't have this machismo, my way or no way.
correct.
He's willing to mix it up and move it around.
Correct.
That makes him super dangerous.
That's what
right?
I'm talking about, yo. For
It
the
makes
fact that
him
they that second game, Jared Goff, whenever he rolled out, he was successful. Whenever he dropped back, he was unsuccessful. We had to force him to drop back. Matter of fact, I kept saying it, Sean, just keep rolling junk out. We can't stop it.
We can't stop it. Why you not going to keep doing it, right?
But y'all
It's
laughing at me for picking the Rams.
and here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Rolling out is something that Jared Goff isn't comfortable doing. But if it's going to give us the best shot to win, I'm going to make my quarterback uncomfortable so we have a shot at winning. He's willing to do that. There's no limit to what Sean McVay is willing to go through to win a game.
Yeah, man.
It's just one game. Let's do it. Let's do whatever it takes. You don't like running the ball? Run the damn ball. You get what I'm saying? Like that's his mindset. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Here's the thing though. I'm still going to go back to the Cardinals.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the Cardinals because although I don't respect their defense, Cliff went out and got the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yep. Second best.
And gave it to his super small, super tiny quarterback. But this super small, super tiny quarterback is really good on the move.
Yeah.
He throws the best deep ball probably in the league. I know people aren't going to talk about it yet. He throws the most accurate ball while he's on the move. I know people aren't going to talk about it yet. Kyler Murray is going to be a problem. If you give this guy 3 seconds in the pocket or even outside the pocket, let him set his feet to throw a ball, Kyler Murray is coming for Russell Wilson's spot as the best quarterback in the NFC West. Kyler Murray's damn good. And so with that in mind and looking at the success that Kenyon Drake had, Kenyon Drake came in and played so well, they said, David Johnson, you can go. We don't need you no more, bro. Have fun. You want to go to Houston? Hey, bye. They didn't care at all.
David Johnson didn't fit that offense, though.
No, I get it. He didn't fit I thought he was going to do great. Let him catch some passes in space. Let him, you know what I mean? Get some yak. I thought he was going to do great there. I picked him up in fantasy in like the second and third round. I was on it. I'm like, oh, yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to – I know what he does for his running backs. I thought Johnson was going to be that guy. He said, no, he's not the guy. In fact, I want that guy. I don't care what it takes. Get me that guy. He did it. And so that's telling me something else. You go out and get the best wide receiver. You want a possession guy. I don't know what people think about Hopkins. I don't see him as a speed guy. I don't see him as a tall, catch radius guy. He's just got the heart. I'm going to go through you to get the ball. That's what you need for a quarterback that's accurate, right? Because he's going to put the ball in a spot that you can depend on. You just got to be more physical than the guy that's on you. You might not be able to get the separation, but fight through it and get the ball. That is going to be a very dangerous offense this year. Second year, just like we talked about Shanahan and a second-year quarterback, we have to think for a second it might be the same way for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to be the biggest threat to the 49ers. Not just the Niners. I think they can steal a couple of wins that they maybe shouldn't win, and they could be right there at the 10-11 win mark for this season.
I agree with what you're saying, and that's why I think because versus Arizona was a perfect example of how the defensive line was gassed.
Mm-hmm.
Gassed.
They ran circles around those defensive ends, bro. They ran circles around.
Now,
he was purposely looping his quarterback.
The depth on this defensive line and having such a strong bull and Kinlaw inside, who's strong as hell. I think our defensive line has the edge versus their offensive line, but it's got to be they have to be strict in their rush lanes. If they play undisciplined, that's how this kid will kill us. Right.
And someone in here says one good hit from Bosa and Murray is done. I'm going to tell you why I disagree. Murray is thick. He is a short, compact, thick player.
And it's hard to get him down too. So it's not like he's easy to catch. He's not as I won't say he's as slithery as Russell Wilson, but he's still hard to get down.
The only person I think that can hurt Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray.
That's it.
I don't think he's ever going to get one of those clean hits that boom that's going to knock him out of a game. You know what I mean?
He doesn't stay still.
No, he's too slippery. So if you get him down, which is not impossible, it's going to be by your fingertips, not by your forearm or your bicep. You're not getting a clean hit on a guy like that. And so I think it's hard. And by the way, I don't ever want to bank on an injury to help us win the game. So it's just, they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be. All right, Tony, we got this comment up here from Niner One Nation. Jimmy Ward said he will get better, and he likes Tony Odden's concepts. You really wanted to talk about this. Break it down for us, man.
I think you could see a change in the scheme in the secondary. With him saying something like that, I think they're going to change it. They're going to change it up. You might see, because he allegedly was known as a press corner, a press DB coach, a press man DB coach, and you might be seeing the 49ers switch to that. Possible.
Good.
Let me ask you this question. Now, you're saying press. Let's try to explain it for people who may not understand what that means. We want to be, as friendly to everyone as possible. Are they ironing, like pressing your clothes?
Yeah, spray a little water, flip the shirt out. No, I'm joking.
Right. Playing up close, man.
You basically square up to the wide receiver. Your shoulders are squared to the wide receiver. At the snap of the ball, you're firing one or both hands into that receiver's chest.
Are they lined up back? So the wide receiver's on the 7-yard line. Where's your DB? On the 10, on the 20?
Oh, he's on the line.
You're on the line, man. You're trying to jam the wide receiver. You're trying to jam the wide receiver right off the line of scrimmage.
You're trying to reroute him off his route. So if he's an inside release, you'll see the DB step to the inside and try to jam him with this hand to keep him from getting a free release inside. This is the perfect thing for Croc. Croc can explain it. He played corner in the league, but I'm just going over from coaching.
This is why.
You to phone a friend real quick?
This is why. No, this is why I like Akella Witherspoon.
Breezy said it. Don't do it.
This is why I like him, and this is why you have the bigger guys. This is where Sherman excelled. Like you got Sherman playing
off a lot last year. Now we got to talk about this.
He played off a lot because I'm trying to tell you, when Sherman plays press and he's able to jam that, Sherman's strong.
Sherman has lost some speed, and I thought that's why he was playing off.
That's where your safeties come in, bro. I mean, I could be wrong, but when I play Madden and I play press and I switch down to the D-pad and I put the things up, my safety at the top is covering the side of the slower DB. That way.
Let's explain that. I get you, but I want to make sure everybody who's watching understands. So press. So press is basically when instead of your corners playing back. So this is the wide receiver. High, wide receiver.
He's squared up. With his hand, he's crouched over with his hands dangling between his legs.
Here comes the DB, the corner. So here's Richard Sherman. They say hike, and Richard Sherman pushes him off the line.
He fires either one arm or both. Usually, it's usually one arm because you don't want to overcommit. And he swipes you and you're gone.
So Richard Sherman pushes, the guy turns to get him. They run together.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're pressing and then you're converting to man.
Okay. So it's usually
by the way, the 49ers ran man a lot last year on third down.
Okay. All right. Now, what's the difference between playing press? What's the difference between playing press and playing off? Because now off, you're
giving space. Yeah.
Now Richard Sherman did that a lot last year. I want to understand why you guys think we're going to switch back, and will that hurt? Now, I'm going to tell you as a general fan, I'm going to speak for the masses out there. I thought Richard Sherman was playing off a lot last year because he lost speed. So if they're going to run a 10-yard route, I don't want to jam him, and then boom, he's 10 yards by me, and I'm chasing him.
That's why it was important.
What was that?
That's why what?
Your jam is very important.
Right. But so now maybe Richard Sherman wasn't playing off because of that. Now, if he jams him, does Richard Sherman have the speed to keep up with the 10 yards? Like that's what
it depends on the receiver though, Mike. It depends on if you have a speedy guy out there like John Ross or Tyreek Hill opposed to a Mike Evans. You might see the press
He can
on a
stick
big
with the Mike Evans, but he can't stick with it.
because of the speed, right?
Right. So let me ask you guys this question then. Was he playing off due to scheme so much, or was he playing off due to the receivers and his lack of speed?
We spoke about Joe Woods being a big zone guy when they brought him in.
Yes.
How he was going to implement and split the safeties and do a 2 deep.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a man guy. So now it could be interesting where
Okay.
they're going to change up that on the outside and see, maybe give the free safety a little bit more
freedom.
Yeah.
Which is what Jimmy Ward needs. Let's just keep it a buck. Jimmy Ward, ball hawk. Drafted, ball hawk. That's what he was. That's what he did. We watched him intercept balls in college, but like that's what he did. Then he kept getting converted to all these different positions. The cornerback, nickelback, like this. Then he kept getting injured. Is this a possibility, Tony, that we revert back to where Jimmy's strength is, for him saying that he feels stronger with the new defensive back coach?
It could be. It very well could be. But I also think I think they're going to keep the versatility. They're going to do the dual schemes. I think they're still going to play zone, which, by the way, in a cover 3, you could play one side zone.
Man. Yes, sir.
Let me ask this question. Can you play zone and still press off the line?
Yeah. It's an adjustment. You can. You should.
Are
you saying or no?
Yes. How it would work, it's not a full press. Like, you'll be up on the line, you'll jam the wide receiver, you'll trickle back, and then you'll get from like they call it hook to flat, where if you take a 10-yard window, you'll take from the 5-yard to the 0. So hook to the line of scrimmage. And then the safety takes from 5 yards back.
Yep.
That's too deep, though. That's in a 2 deep.
Well, I'm asking what kind of changes could we see this year? Because you guys are saying that it looks like, because of the coaches that we have here, we're going to go zone to man from zone to press. So what changes? What should it look like? Should we see Richard Sherman still playing 8 yards off the line of scrimmage?
I think you're still going to get there.
Talk about Richard Sherman in particular, because that's the one that was constant all year long.
Yeah, I think Richard Sherman was still going to play off the line like that.
So he's not playing press.
He won't be the press guy.
Depends on the call. It's not going to be consistent press every play. It's not
right.
No, for sure. Nothing.
It depends on the matchup, the read.
They could develop plays that are press beaters. You know what I'm saying? They could develop plays that are man beaters. They could develop plays that are zone beaters. So I think you're going to see similar to what you saw last year, but the emphasis might be a little bit more on man, rather than zone under Joe Woods, if that makes sense. I think you're going to see the cover 3. I think you're going to see the cover 2. I think you're going to see the same type of defense, but I just think you're going to see that a little bit more towards the man under Tony Oden.
All right. No, I've got it all along. I wasn't trying to help out other people. I took too much time on it. I'm sorry. All right, guys. So that's really going to do it for our show tonight. But we have one more segment here. It's Sunday, and Sunday means getting to know us, getting to know you, right? And so we have this thing here where there's a ton of 49er shows. There's a ton of podcasts. There's a ton of videos that everyone has a YouTube show now, right? And it's not that it's a bad thing. I would never say that. I don't think there's a such thing as too much content, right? I might have an opinion about a player. Tony might have the alternate opinion. Breezy might be somewhere in the middle. And then there's some completely different option that we didn't even think about, right? I think the more people you listen to, the better. But I think what's going to separate us from everybody else is you guys know who we are as people. And so we have a section of our show called Getting to Know You. All right.
Getting to know you.
I know that was coming.
Getting to
know
know
all about
you.
Getting to like you. Oh, my bad, just me.
Now you got it. You got it.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is we'd like to involve you guys, like give you guys a little peek behind the curtain as to who we are. So we're gonna do something right now. Breezy,
Yo.
congratulations! This week you celebrate
Yeah.
anniversary.
6 years, guys.
Happy anniversary to my guy Breezy here.
Thank you, man. Thank you. 6 years.
6
I know
years.
it's not long, but
No, I don't. No, it don't matter, man. Let me tell you,
It's a
2
question.
years is long. let me tell you, as a guy who's been married, 2 years is long. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how long. That's irrelevant.
I got
2
you.
years is long.
I
You
got
did
you.
that times 3. So congratulations. God bless
Thank
you guys.
Thank
I
you.
wish you
man.
guys many, many more. But that got me to thinking. All 3 of us on the show are married, right? Now we had 2 different topics. We had our first date, and then we had our how you met and got their number. So I want to know what people want to see. We're gonna tell a story here, and you guys, the faithful, get to pick.
We got 5 minutes to get this
All
done.
right, we got 5 minutes. We're gonna be okay. Do you guys want to know our first date or
Thank you, guys.
how we got their information?
I'd
Hey, yo,
rather
bro,
I
what
just
up?
rather
How you
do
doing,
that.
shorty? I was asking the faithful. You going?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what whichever one pops up first, I'm going.
How we got the number or our first date, and then we're gonna talk about it. All 3 of us are married, so I want to know how you guys either met your wives and got her number.
How you got the
Or-
info. So Joyce says how you got the info, so we're gonna go with Joyce. All right.
Look, they like that. Oh, look, they got it. They on it. They all like that. Okay. Hey, I can't wait to hear y'all game. Let's do this.
All right.
Hold on, time out. My wife just walked out. Go in the room. Get out of here.
Tony,
All right. Here we
mine is rather lengthy, so I'll close out.
So you'll finish. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how you got the number, how you got to meet them. Okay. Nobody wants to know first date. Peachy, I see you. Peachy was the only one that said, "Oh, is this really Joe Budden?"
Hey, crack! What up,
My
baby?
guy.
That
Let's
can't be
go.
Joe. That's not Joe Budden, is
How
it?
you know it's not Joe? That's not
His picture. That's his picture.
That's not his mom. That's Amber.
That's his picture, though.
Amber ain't leaning like that though. I don't think so. Joe Budden's name on there is Mouse, so it's cool. But it's cool though. It's all right. We don't know. They don't know. I saw one thing for first date. One vote for first date. That's crazy. How
You want to know what's funny, yo? I
What's
don't
that?
even remember my first date. We've been on so many dates, but I remember the first. Actually, I do. I do. So I could do in either.
But it don't
story.
matter. We can save it for them because look, I'm looking at the votes, man, and it
Should
looks
have
like
put a poll up on Twitter, and then
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have. But how you got the numbers definitely win it in the chat. So it's
How
it's
I
all
got the
number, bro.
number. Okay.
Look, number, how you got the number. So Tony, you want to go first or you want me how you want to do this, bro?
Mine's pretty easy. I mean,
All right.
I was at a shit. We were at
So this
a
has got to be the first time you talked to her too.
we were at a friend's house. I was friends with
Shoot, how did I get her number?
someone that she was friends with, and I was talking with the one that she was friends with. Like, just we were hanging out. I just walked up to her and I just started talking to her. I said, "Give me your number. Let's go out." That's it.
Wait. You walked up to her and said, "Give me your number."
Tony
Yeah,
got
no, seriously. No, we were talking.
Chauvinistic pig. Look at you.
No.
Give me your number.
We were talking. Like it was probably there for like 3 hours. It was like a house party or something. I don't know. It was down the shore. We were just like talking and like, maybe like a half hour, 45 minutes into it. I was like, "What's your number?" That's it. And she just gave it to me.
That's
it.
Give it to you. The rest
Tony.
was
Tony scared her. He was like, "Yo, give me your number."
No, this ain't gonna be a podcast, so just let's
no. By the way, just so you guys know, StreamYard don't care how long it is. It's gonna be a podcast.
Hey,
I don't cut us off for 2 hours, so we rocking out. So if you want to give more details, Tony, break it down. You at a house party? No, I'm not letting you get off that. So you at a house party? You single? What you driving? What's your car?
What song was playing?
No,
That's
no,
right.
what car you got? I want to know what you pulled up in, because what you pulled up in is going to tell me how you was feeling that night.
I had what kind of car did I have back then? I had a Honda Accord 2-door Sport.
Ooh, so he got
He had a coupe.
my man's in the coupe, automatic manual.
Coupe de Ville.
Automatic manual. What you driving?
Oh, it was auto.
Okay, so it's automatic. So that means that Tony got a free hand. He ready to be a pimp. He want to slide the hand over on the thigh while he driving. All right. Okay, so you drive and you like, yeah, I'm gonna find me something nice tonight.
The key
all right.
component of this whole thing, I probably had about 6 drinks into me.
So Tony
Okay,
was
okay.
So you were intoxicated while you were driving.
No,
Not while driving at the house party. He's saying.
At the
Oh,
house party. Like,
okay.
Right.
if I'm not drunk, I'm quiet, I'm calm. I drink, it's forget it. I'll go up to anybody, I'll say anything. It just relaxes me, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's the liquid courage. So Tony's feeling himself. He got the drinks up in him and everything. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and put nobody's ages out there, but so Tony he sees this girl across the room. He's like, yo, damn, she all right. I gotta go say something to her.
Oh,
right?
it was the other girl's friend.
No, don't matter. Okay, so you saw her talking to her homegirl. Now you knew the girl in the middle, so it was like, hey, what's up with your friend? She single? How many kids she got? None? What? Like, what's going on? Break it down for us. Come on, man. You gotta tell us. So you see the girl on the side.
And like she was with her other friends. I was talking to her. A buddy of mine was with me. I can tell you what I was drinking: vodka and cranberry.
Let's go.
And
go.
You had 6 of them things.
I just kept drinking and kept drinking. I just looked. I said, "Fuck it." Oh, sorry.
No, you good. You good. It's all right. We passed the 2-hour mark. Anything else, fair game. Let's go.
Give me your number now.
No.
Tony ain't see no be in this.
And that was it. I was like, we were probably. I was talking to her probably for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then.
Oh, you were talking to her for an hour and a half, or a friend?
No, I was talking for a friend for like 45 minutes. Like it was like a bunch. It was like a group there. Then she came over. They were talking. Then she went back to her other group, and then I just got the liquid courage, and I started talking.
What happened? So y'all were talking for an hour and a half, you and her.
Tony was singing,
and then did you told her, give me your number, I'll hit you up, or you gave her your number, or did you guys exchange numbers?
I think we exchanged numbers. No, she gave me her number. I put it in my phone.
That was the flip phone back then, yo. We didn't have the new phone. We had the flip joint, so you had to keep.
That shit might have had the screw-in antenna on top. It might have been the Zach Morris phone.
I had a Nokia.
Like the one that flipped the Motorola, and you pulled the antenna.
Yeah,
start that, baby. Time for it, baby.
All right, so you got the number, right? And then you hit her up, and that's how it started.
Yeah. Then we went out a couple times. We went to a couple of bars. We went to here, and next thing you know,
that's my guy. That's my guy, Liquid Courage. Yo, what's going on, shorty? Come here. I want to hold you and talk to you. Put my arm around your shoulders and walk with you. That's what Tony went up on. He was on Mobb Deep. All right, I see you, Tony. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Yo, speaking of Mobb Deep, yo, Tony was playing Mobb Deep before you came in here, yo.
Oh, don't play with me. Are you serious?
Yo, he was playing the
MOBB. Let's go.
That joint, y'all was like, yo, this is gonna be Tony. This is that my nook. Let's go. Shame on you.
Here, you want it? I'll give it to you. Hold on.
No. Don't play no music. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. We got a good show. Don't do that. Don't play no music.
We'll get
all right. So my story isn't as fun as Tony's. All right. So I'm gonna go next. Breezy's gonna take us up at the end here. I was working for the state of New Jersey at the time, and my wife worked in the same building. I got transferred to this building. I had been with the state for like 6 or 7 years. We had a governor who came in, shut down my entire department. I thought I was going to get fired. They said, no one's getting fired. We're going to move you guys to different parts of the state. I went from mad responsibility to a mail room. They stuffed me down in this mail room. And I'm over there. It's cool, whatever. And it was an 8-story floor. On the 3rd floor, I'm looking at everybody. I'm seeing the girls out there. And I see this girl. And she's like, yo, she kind of bad. You know, whatever. So it's cool. One day, the same girl that I think is pretty bad comes up to me, not the other way around. She comes up to me. Now, in the office that I work in the mailroom, There's another guy, my boy G. If you guys were on the hot mic, Breezy, you were there. You know my boy G that was in the rock recliner, right? That's the guy. So G is my boy. We in the same office. And this shorty come up to me and was like, hey, I'm throwing a surprise party for G. I need your number so I can give you the details for the party. It's all right, no problem. I give her the number. Boom. I don't think nothing of it. Now, a little bit of backstory. Shorty fine. Shorty pregnant. Okay? So I'm like, she off topic. Can't touch it, right? I give her my number, whatever. Next thing I know, she's out on maternity leave. Now, she shot me a text as soon as I gave her my number. This is Melissa. Save my number so you know who it is. When I hit you up, I'm going to give you information about G, da-da-da-da-da. I don't hear anything else from her. She's out. She's on maternity leave. Apparently, I text her and say, how are things going? Right? And during that conversation, she tells me through text that her and her man broke up. It's just her. She getting ready to have the baby, da-da-da-da-da. And that's where the magic happened, man. I don't have a fancy story. I didn't see her from across the room. I didn't see the stars around her energy like Tony saw with his lady. Now, when I tell the story to my family and friends, she gamed me. My wife shot game to me because when she got my number for the surprise party, this was, let me see, my son is 10. This was about 12 years ago. To this day, she has not thrown the surprise party for our boy G yet.
That was bull crap.
She just wanted to get my number. That's
That's
all that
what's
was. She shot game. She said, hey, yo.
I got a high five over that seat. That was
she's
dope.
standing here smiling right now.
High five.
She shot game the whole time, bro. I want to go get your number so I can tell you about this surprise. She ain't have nothing like that, man. That's all it is.
Listen, man. I love a woman that's a go-getter, bro. You know.
And by the way, she was pregnant. She had the baby. That son is my son. I have been in his life since he was a month old. That is my son. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love that kid. That is like everything to me. Since then, we have 4 children, house, cars, and everything. Man, she locked me down, bro. She wrote me in, bro. She wrote me in. You know, there's a glow to pregnant women. You know what I'm saying? They look different. They feel different. They smell different. She wrote me in with the hormones, bro. Like, what was I supposed to do?
It was the pheromones, dog.
Yeah, I had no choice, man. She's sucking me, so it's cool. All right, but yeah, I'm happy. All right, Breezy, it's on you, man.
So what's funny, Mike, is that you and I, like, we just met maybe 2 years ago, yo, and we have so much in common, even when it comes down to these stories, right? Because my wife kind of did the same thing, but I was setting up premise though, because I my whole thing is I'm a prowler, yo, right? So like I knew when I first seen her, I said, yo, I gotta get to know her, but I let it develop and take time. So my wife and I, we worked at the same school, and she was fresh. She just got here from San Francisco. I mean, from the San Francisco area. She's from Tracy, California. So she just got here. She was working in a program called Teacher.
So she a Bay Area native,
right? She's a Bay Area native.
Niners for life,
baby. So you gotta understand how all this set up, like how all this is matching up, right? So this is before I knew any of this, obviously, right? I just knew when I saw her. I was like, yo, what is she? Like, is she Asian? She's just different, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm this is what I'm gonna do. Now we worked at the same school. Now my boy was the principal of this school. So he my boy, I mean, he my ace, like he my dude. He's 4 years ahead of me, but he's my guy, right? He always looks out for me, made sure I had a job, whatever. And then my other boy, Teron, was the one that got me, you know, reconnected with my man Billy or whatnot. So when he hired her, he hired me. It was at like one of those training joints. And that's when I kind of like, you know, I just fell back, you know, just playing the game, like, you know, just getting to know her. I really like be low key. I keep to myself a lot. Don't ask me why I'm weird like that. That's just who I am. I know it don't seem like that. I'm just a really self person. I could entertain myself or whatnot. So
That's how we move, baby.
That's how we move.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was in her classroom, supporting her classroom, because we work with kids that just really struggled with regular classroom settings and whatnot. They had all these different trauma issues, and my specialty was to be able to make sure that they were ready to be able to learn or whatnot. So that was
both of y'all work with the special need children.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay.
So the thing was, I think my boy knew that I liked her, so he kept putting me with a different teacher.
Keeping you away from her.
Right. So what I would do was
put that away.
So what I would do is I would fall asleep in the other teacher's classroom because it was just boring, right? It was English and I like math. So what ended up happening was my boy Tehran, who was the drummer in my band, we had a show and he invited her out to the show. And she showed up, and you know what I'm saying, like I was kind of gassed up, you know. I was like, oh snap, like who invited you here? You know, she was like, Tehran. He was like, I wanted to come. She was like, yo, so what you drinking? I'm like, yo, I never had a woman buy me a drink before. So she bought me a Guinness. You know what I'm saying? I like Guinness.
So wait. The first drink a woman ever bought you was a Guinness beer.
I like Guinness, bro.
All right, I got questions. Hold up, time out. I ain't gonna let you flow like that.
Okay.
Was it on tap or was it out the bottle?
It was tap.
Okay, see, I can do Guinness tap out the bottle.
Right. No. Never out the bottle, bro. Yeah,
do it out the bottle.
It's a thick style.
I'm just
right.
feeling you out. Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
No, it's cool. So she brought me to Guinness, and honestly, this was the first time like we actually like really talk outside of school stuff. So this ended up turning into like our first date, because this is what ended up happening. I took her home. And I promised.
Whoa.
Wait. So we sat outside in the parking lot, bro, till 6 a.m. just talking.
They ain't leaving till
6 in the morning.
Let's go.
I had the best freaking conversation in my life. Mind you, I'm 9 years older than her, and she just knew so much, bro. And it was just like, that's when I got to know where she was from, the California area. That's when we sent 49er fans. Like everything started connecting from 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. because I was done probably like around 12:30. Did I tell you that she helped me pack my equipment? Listen, all this stuff started happening. So then wait.
That's a job, bro.
It was a job. Like
the guy who grew up in the church, and they bring the organ, they bring the drums, they got the guitars.
He was rapping wires like she did it before.
Nah,
and I don't let anybody touch my wires because wires break when you rap them wrong, right? She had that down pat. And then it was from that moment when I just went googly-eyed. It was after that stupid ass long conversation, yo. The conversation, there was no kissing, no touching, not even a hug. I walked her to her door. We watched the sunrise. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, we've been together ever since, yo. Like that's what it was. That's what it did it for me. And I told myself I wasn't dating no more. Yo, I mean, I was out there, man. I had got my heart broken. So I was out there, bro. But then she swept me off my feet, man.
She changed it. She made you trust.
She
made you love.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man. And 8 years later, we're here. You know what I mean? So
you were courting her for 2 years.
For 2 years.
And now you guys have been married for 6.
For 6 years, correct.
Tony, how long before you guys got married?
Probably about 1, 2, 3, probably about 3 years.
3?
2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, me and Melissa got married at 2 years. So all of us are right there in that same little area, man. 2.5 to 3 years, man. What is it about that number? What is it? What do we have to do? Yeah,
you kind of want to. So depending on how you're brought up and how you're raised, if you're based off religion, we lived together. So like we courted for a year, then we moved in together for a year. Like we wanted to make sure that we can get along, because we have our days, but we want to make sure we could get along as roommates, as whatever. Right. And so we courted, we dated for that year, and I know people that grew up in the church, they don't believe in shack, and I understand that. I always say to myself, though, whenever I get to heaven, I'm gonna ask God, like, God, like, Like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong with shagging? Because, like, how am I supposed to know if I can live with this chick? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big thing. So that's when we started consolidating bills. That's when I realized, like, this is it. Like, this is gonna work. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was 348 pounds.
Oh, so this is before your transmission.
Yeah, yo.
Transition. Okay.
She,
So she loved you for you.
yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful, man. Are you kidding me?
And she
That
was
is
the
great. She fell in love with the personality, bro.
yeah. And she was
Oh,
the
God.
one that got me going on the health kick because she loves to work out. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go hang out with her and work out. But I can't. I'm the what is it in me? You know, I'm a competitor, so I can't let nobody outwork me. Even though Mike could do
She
more
said
push-ups
Twitter
than me.
paid it, man. She took it back to Fox now.
What?
Bambi. I'm sorry, Bambi. Twitter paid it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. So like this, you know, due to COVID, man, we didn't really get to go anywhere or celebrate like we want. But just being together and having our 3-year-old son with us this time to celebrate, like, and understand like that we're a union and stuff like that. It was so cool. So this anniversary was a really, really cool experience. And if you guys are together or with someone and you guys aren't really enjoying that time together due to COVID, I'm hoping you guys are taking home to that, because if you know me, like, if there was no COVID, I'd be out doing shows every night, and I'm lucky and blessed to have a supportive wife of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm blessed to have that. And Mike works all the time. Like, I get it. Like, Tony's, your hours are ridiculous, bro. So like, we have really, this is why we take care of ours. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, all right. So let's fast forward. Here we are today, August 9th, 2020. Gentlemen, how long have you been married to your beautiful wives?
I thought I just answered my question. Is that not the answer?
No, go ahead. Just say it again.
Oh, so 6 years in 2 days, 3 days, 2 days.
Tony, where you at?
3 days.
It's gonna be, damn,
I can't add.
9. It's gonna be 9 in
Oh, I'm getting there, Tony.
June.
June makes 9 years for you guys.
Mhm.
September 7th makes 9 years for us.
9 years. Wow.
9 years, man. Yeah, 9 years it makes for us, man. You know, it's pretty cool, man. I know this has nothing to do with 49ers, and thank you everybody who rocked out with us this long. I know we lost a couple of viewers because, you know, we stopped talking about football, but this is cool, man. I really like hearing this kind of stuff from you guys, man. It makes us people.
Yeah.
You know, you're not tuning in for the
We're real.
Yeah.
My wedding song, Andrew, was John Legend's All of Me, yo. Like,
oh my God, I wanted to sing that in my wedding.
yeah. I didn't sing at my wedding, but I had people do it. It was weird because I'm usually the singer, and I had a band. It was so cool. But what I did for my wedding,
videos, I won't say nothing, but
So
videos,
what I did for my wedding is I wrote a song called Small Wonder, and it was about me meeting my wife, like how I met. That's why it took place at the school, Mike. Like that's the whole.
Oh no, I was on it. I know it. I know. That's why I was like, yo, that's not her though. Like, I was
right. No, it wasn't her. It was a model. But at the wedding, we premiered the video, and everybody got a chance to see it. It was it was dope. The wedding was dope. But All of Me was my wedding song. What was your wedding song?
So we got married at the courthouse.
Okay.
We decided that we wanted to buy a house, and instead of putting the money into a wedding,
Smart.
Get the house, because she already had a kid. We had lost twins. We knew we wanted to have a bigger family. So we were like, let's put the money toward the house. We didn't do that. Believe it or not, now here's the crazy thing. Next year, you guys are going to miss me for about a month because we're doing our honeymoon. We never got our honeymoon.
Got you.
And we are doing our celebration of our 10-year, and we're going to renew our vows, and we are gone. We are off the grid. We have a sitter for the entire time, and we are out. So next year, you guys are going to have to hold me down. You know, I might join from my phone from Fiji or something like that. You know what I mean? But we are out next year.
Don't
next
you do
year,
it?
10 years. Yeah, because we didn't get to do any of that. We got married at the courthouse. You know, we were still living we were renting an apartment at the time. And, well, we were renting a house at the time. But, you know, it was only 2 bedrooms at a house. And then now here we are. So, you know, we were saving up and everything like that. We didn't get to do all the fancy and fun stuff. We're going to do that next year. So, you know, that's where we are now. But Tony, you're right there too, man. You're coming up on that 10-year. What do they call it? 10-year? It's not Bicentennial is 25. What's the 10-year thing called?
It's just 10 years.
There's no word for it. I thought there was a word for 10 years.
Nah, it's just
Either
10 years.
way.
I think.
This year she gets a new ring.
Nice.
Yeah, no, not well. Nice for her. I'm sitting here.
So the 10 years where the new ring comes in. By the way,
for us.
No,
So
but that's typically
got me
what
my
it is.
new ring. If you guys ever go back and watch any of the videos, my old ring was gold and white gold. This one's black and white gold with diamonds in it. And she gets hers next year. Hers, man, that joint come with a lease, warranty. Because why are women's rings so damn expensive? What?
It's the cut of the diamonds, bro. So it's like it's the clarity. Like so men don't give two cares about clarity. Unless you Jay-Z, you don't care about remember back in the day it was all about the HSS, the VVS diamonds and all that stuff.
VVS, yeah. Not inexpensive.
Yeah, man. It was all about clarity.
I know what you mean, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you want to make sure that your women's diamond is clear. I mean, shining when the lights are off, like, because that is the statement saying I picked out a damn good ring and my wife is bling bling and pinky ring worth about fitted bling bling. Nah, man. So that's what it comes down to. So women's diamonds in the cuts. If you go solid, stone, round, I like the princess cut. I like the diamond cut into fours. I like princess cut. I don't know why I like princess cut, but yeah, man. That's what it comes down to, man. Clarity, bro. But for my man Andrew, I think he said his fiance wants some Johnny Gill. So you're gonna have to give her what she wants.
Hey, what did you say your wedding song was?
Mine was All of Me by John Legend.
John Legend. Let me tell you, music has some very, very good.
Oh yeah, man.
But Teach Me How to Love is
yeah.
Music Soul Child. That's MUZI.
Philly guy, y'all.
Is it ZIQ for Music Soul Child?
Nope, it's MUSIQ.
Okay. Music Soul Child, Teach Me How to Love.
Put on your red dress.
That's the
Step on your high heels. Now she want that Johnny Gill, man. You got me singing my. Look
at this bull. Hey, she not. I know she's gonna watch this video.
Sure look good. Woo!
You see this crap?
My God, that's a boat.
No, exactly. No, absolutely not. Look at what she sent me, bro.
Yo, listen. Like they ask for proposal ideas, and if you're gonna propose, do whatever it is you feel you want to do. What I did was I tried to do it at the 49ers game, but because I went to the pick at the stick game, and that's when I went to meet her parents. It was my first time meeting her parents. I didn't want to propose until I got her father's blessing.
Yeah,
and
you cared. See,
yeah,
I don't care about that.
So
you can say no as long as she want to marry me. I don't care what you say.
And I understand, but it was just
I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No, I got you. I just wanted her father's blessing, and I met the mom already, but I didn't get a chance to meet the dad because we flew out there and went straight to the game. Her mom was with us with the 49ers, so I didn't get a chance to meet her dad. But after I met her dad, and he was cool with it. He was so happy or whatnot. So what I did was, for my birthday, which is January 15th, she brought me tickets to the Celtics Lakers game. And I had my cousin who has connections with the Boston Celtics. They had it on the Jumbotron during the third quarter. I think it was the third quarter. And they had it on the Jumbotron. So what I had to do is I asked Ricky to go get me a water. And she was upset because the Celtics were like, they were coming back and she didn't want to get up. And I was like, but I'm really thirsty. So I had a camera person way up at the top in the skybox. And then I got down on a knee and then like everything stopped. Right. And then the Jumbotron popped on during like a timeout or whatnot. And then it was like, will you marry me? And I said, will you marry me? And we got the pictures or whatever. So I go big.
You did it at the game.
At the game, yo. So the game, she brought me tickets for my birthday. I did it.
You flipped it on her.
Yes, sir. You're not gonna win. I'm too competitive, baby.
He a hustler. That's a hustler right there.
Baby, I just want you to know. Yeah. Ain't where I've been. Ho.
Tony, I don't know about you, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Tony talk. But I don't have a romantic story about my proposal. We talked. I was like, hey, look, if we don't work out, I'm gonna be a male whore for the rest of my life. So you want to? I'm telling y'all the truth. My wife can tell you right now. Hey, look, we gonna do this or not. That was my proposal, and I don't feel bad because she knew I meant it. But like, we gonna do this or not? That was me. That was Tony. How is your proposal? Let's do this real quick. I'm sorry, not to rush you. Take your time with explaining it, but how was your proposal? Because I didn't have it. Now I will tell you guys this: for our 10-year anniversary, I got something real special planned. I will share it with y'all at a later date. She's listening right now, so I'm not going to do it now, but I will share it with y'all at a later date. But by 10-year, your boy doing it the right way this time.
My man.
How did I do it? I forgot.
I don't know. But Breezy did it at a damn game.
No, I'm not there. No, I didn't do nothing like that. It was I graduated training, and the night I graduated, but I was driving for the graduation, and my phone rings, and it's the jeweler. And they're like, oh, it's ready, da, 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 da. And she's, who is that? No one. Who is that?
So you knew you wanted to marry her. You get the ring.
At that point, yeah.
You get the ring done.
Mm-hmm.
You got it ordered. You made a deposit on it. They put it together. They give you a call.
Yes.
And this is all
I
the
was
same.
driving to the graduation while they're calling me and telling me it's ready. So I'm like, oh, God, what am I going to do? So I'm like, oh, I ordered something for work, whatever, and it's in. It came in. I can go pick it up. What is it? Nah, nothing. Well, I want to know. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Now I'm getting pissed because she keeps asking. So she dropped me off. I had to, go into the building for graduation, and she went and met her parents, and after the graduation, we get in the car. That was the year we had the big blizzard.
Yep.
Huge blizzard.
96?
No.
Nah. This was recent. This was
The end of 2010.
10, yeah.
Oh, I'm about to say because 96 was the bad.
We were snowed in for like 2 weeks, bro.
The end of 2010, and
that's when I got in the gym.
We went home. We went back, and we hung out, whatever. The next day, I ran out early before she could even figure it out. I picked it up. I took it home, and then we're sitting there, and that was the night the blizzard hit. So I'm just sitting there, and it wasn't the way I wanted to do it, but I was kind of stuck because I had nowhere to put it.
I got stuck because you ain't had nowhere to leave to either. And the blizzard kept your ass right there.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't do none, so she went. I was like, I'm hungry. Go get me like something to drink or something. So she went in there. She came back. I shut all the lights off. She's like, what are you doing? I don't understand. She starts cursing and yelling at me. I said, I dropped something.
That's my girl. So you down on one knee looking for it.
No. I had my cell phone light on. So I was like, I'm looking for something. So she put the light on. And I was right there with the ring. And she cursed me out. F you. I'm looking at her. I'm like, this. Now, meanwhile, my bank account was like,
oh, hell yeah. That hurts. It hurts.
Out the window.
Man, I love it, yo. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Let's pull it up. Let's get it full screen. Hold on, wait. Solo layout. Oh my God.
I love
it. The one that my wife won. Oh my God.
That killed me, but she's worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Listen, man. I don't have any regrets in life at all, but I will say this: making my wife happy is one of the greatest joys in my life.
Absolutely,
it really, really is.
Because we were supposed to go out like 2 nights after the graduation to like celebrate, and I was going to do it there with everybody there. But I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I said, I can't leave it here. She finds it, it's over.
Right.
So
you had the snowstorms too, so you kind of had to, go ahead and get it over with. That's good, man. Good shit, guys. Good shit right there. Guys, also, we are 2 days removed from it. Those are our how we met them and proposed stories. You guys will get more stories like this on Sundays. We're going to save the getting to know you guys, getting to know you for Sundays. All right. So that's that. We'll see you guys next week. Tune back in on Sundays. My shirt, we are 2 days removed from 8/7. August 7th is Dwight Clark Day in 49ers land. Rest in peace to Dwight Clark. We know what he did. He kicked off the dynasty. The Niners wouldn't be where they are without him. So we always want to pay homage to our guy, Dwight Clark, tight end. All right. So that's going to do it for the show tonight, guys. Wonderful, wonderful show. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And that's going to do it, man. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out, y'all.
Bringing you news with
Peace.
nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey.